Well, get variance for that.
If she calls me.
You can't.
She's now in class.
She calls me.
Yes. She's looking at it, go, birds aren't meant to look at.
Yeah.
It's 5 feet.
You're-
But what if it was only, why don't they make it 3 feet? You could come to a council meeting, happens twice every month, and you could petition the governing body to change the ordinance, make it 2 feet, make it 1 feet. Make it 0. But as of right now, I am asking Bill with enforcing this.
So they always said.
And her friend was like,
Usually I'm either doing ride along.
yeah, we're gonna have to cut that back. But he was great.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Good. Well, thanks for taking that one on.
How about
I'm
you?
still
And then
running.
she's talking about like, why can people build houses so close to the property line and this and that, and why there aren't any trees on Ocean Avenue? Look, I want answers to any of that.
Oh, I do.
But the reason why we're here is because of your bamboo. That's why you wanted this meeting, not to worry about the lack of trees on Ocean Avenue.
Right,
So just staying on that,
Yeah.
understand, 5 feet from the property.
right,
So I just kept going, just see what we're going back to.
right. Oh, that's good.
It's really good.
Someone.
Gracias.
We'll see.
I always have questions for you, then I forget. I have to write them down.
You know, the first sign.
Oh, I know. It's,
Yeah.
It's here.
How's your sister doing?
oh, she's doing really
She back to
well.
West Virginia?
Oh, yeah, yeah. She wants to go with spring break to Hilton Head.
Yes,
Yeah,
good.
we did it a few years back. We loved it. We had so much fun. So I said, sure.
I saw those houses that were abandoned already, but getting destroyed
Going-
with outer bags.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, if you build there, it's just gonna
You
happen.
have to remember, they built really far back. This is like the fifth row that's falling.
Really?
Well, that's what happened in Stevens Ferry when we got Council Island. It's just big. It's a sandbar. Oh, you're amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's
You.
a
Well,
barrier
that's a
island, right? Like, no one should be living there.
I know, and if you do, it's gotta be a little shack that can.
Yeah, right. That, and if you lose it, it's not a big deal.
Right.
They do that.
All right, everyone else good?
Wall branches.
You good?
Think so.
All right.
Think so.
This is so nice, Erica. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Are you, do you have the ability to make these here or get the few of us?
The paper that has that gold bordering on it has been, I just, it was a guessing game. I'm like, okay, I gotta lower it, raise it a little bit as far as it goes.
I
I
know.
know, so.
She just printed this.
Almost.
Great.
You put it down, it's like so hard to get, yeah, getting, solving.
I did.
Do you have an agenda of actual resolutions I see on?
Yeah, it should be right out there. There's paper agendas on the
You
table.
want the resolution printed out, you're saying?
Well, the actual resolutions.
Okay, right out there.
Oh, you have all the printed out?
Or the agenda for tonight.
You have all the resolutions printed?
No, oh, no.
I think she's got access to that on her phone then.
Yeah, yeah, those are on the website.
And they're on the website,
But
okay.
the agenda shows all the resolution numbers.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what she's asking for.
It's on the actual resolution.
No, yeah, you have to go on the website for that.
I can't find it.
And I'm like.
Which one are you looking for?
The executive session and the resolution authorizing the settlement.
Okay. That.
I think that was listed. It wasn't listed yesterday. I just saw it.
This is Friday.
Oh, was it?
Wednesday, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. What am I missing?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's all. public knowledge.
It was.
This resolution, hold on one second.
So I took the physical. and-
Yes,
Jerky. I'm
Right?
pre-pushed.
You looking for 2025-304?
I got like a 9.
Yes.
Okay, I got it here.
Oh.
That one we just posted today, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
today.
what I was.
Just kind of go on a second.
My pleasure.
And I finished like
8:05.
8:05.
Are they all posted on the website? I was looking at it, but sometimes I just don't get on the.
They have it here, so I changed them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I ended up being 52nd on the list. And then I got to my.
We'll talk more about this.
So I would have taken it
Session.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is what's on the record right now.
Oh, those guys have a nice career. Oh, no, it's much more competitive.
It goes on.
Yeah, nothing with wall is wall. They're definitely, no, like that. Cheap. He's like, hey, I mean,
Share, no, I don't know.
Just saying, it's good for, you know.
No, I know, but.
Everybody else knows somebody.
Oh, I know, this is, there's an.
Sir.
So.
Right.
They might get to you, they get back checks and got my.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of the city.
He goes, he said, he said it was one of the highest lists they ever had on those maps. Perfect games. It's all right.
How about you?
Say what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Told.
Right, so the current.
You have to take it around.
in, because until you have stuff, they're being on.
I know it uses today.
Okay.
Let's go on then.
Yeah.
Delete that information. Keep it on top.
Oh,
Same, like.
We're gonna session for right here.
Hey, they gave me an update on my. Very good. All the North Center and Fifth Avenue and Silver Lake. I mean, oh, that's the reason back.
That's it, or you can just plug it in.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind doing it, but I don't wanna get ahead of the couch.
Yeah, it's good for you. I think it's good thing.
People thinking I don't.
Yes. Don't worry about that.
Of residents.
What's up, Rick?
Yes.
How are you?
Good meeting last night.
Little by little.
Oh, gee.
It was like it was so.
Like an
I think you guys went over. I think you went over genetics. I think, yes, there's like, these are things. I mean, there was something else I didn't bring up. But I found back in 2022, 49, or 2020, 149,000 was taken out of the sewer beach account, no, the sewer account. Transferred to the current. And then we're to pay $599,000. At some point, we will wrestle this all to the ground.
I always have to speak to them.
So bad.
Jerry.
Good to see you.
Jerry, going back, Jesse, more. Yeah. I go to like the technology.
Fantastic.
She was a regular. All these folks.
Mary, wanna get it?
She was there.
I'm good, thank you.
Candy now.
Yeah, we got the boys this weekend. First time in 3 months.
Yeah, she's excited, I know you're excited to pick that. Big that.
You know, our little walk thing is canceled. Our walk thing is canceled. Like, oh, tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, I could probably break that, but he's like,
No, you just sort of like.
I was just, you know, postcard went out. So then, instead of saying.
Tough to get swept.
saying,
Jason.
It was just a very funny, yeah. Yes, I can't remember the word now, I'll tell you if I remember, but we looked at it so many times that I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I don't think we invited it anyway, so then I decided on.
No, that's cool.
But it was just a thing, right? We didn't want it. I really, That hobo game.
Yeah, well, I try
Danger.
Danger instead of manager.
Oh, no.
I know.
Whether or not people are.
That's what we just work, so. I am first. I'm sorry. I know, my mother has had one too.
So they, them on site, while they're. Right, so.
What's up, Johnny? Did you get a hold of, Joe? Your new neighbor?
No, I gotta send that to Brendan.
I'm a nice guy, you're like, freaking payroll.
I like this too.
I think he'll be, open to talking with you about what's important to you.
It's a great reminder, thank you. Greetings, everybody.
This is my gas.
I know, I got two pieces. Figured I'll save it for later.
Finally
See.
I should, yeah. So
Are
you
you?
don't know why. No, I just, we had, another week for this meeting. Right?
And
My gosh. Go ahead, 2 pens on. Thank you. And you're seeing hard at work. Sure, here's my second note. You know my question. Yeah. Okay, seems like I have to do this. I can, kind of there.
Is this back to you? Back to you?
What? Sending it, so you just leave it up there. And so you know what, give me the support. This is here. All right.
My buddy was reading that for somebody.
Yeah. Sign up.
Yes, all signed.
Yeah. First.
It's good news, actually.
Hey.
How are you?
How are you?
We made it, we're prepared. That's all we can ask for.
STF. Wait, I think I gave it to you to talk about.
Oh, you do?
You're not gapping together.
I forgot my glasses.
Oh, I have extras. Do you? Look at this.
They can change.
Look at that.
Wait, let me say, I don't, they're my style.
Like 5, give them a rub.
Just without, right? Yeah, perfect. So that's what I look like. You look nice. Okay, unless you wanna, I don't think I'm a gold aviator. You are, yeah.
But I mean, you could, it's very
Thank you.
natural.
Oh, you are.
Oh, I don't plenty of. I probably have more with me. That, nice. The gold, yeah. Oh, gold, you like that?
How was the rest of your day?
Yeah.
Right.
Did you get your?
Yeah. I think it's okay.
Yes, I did. Signed those.
Yeah, wait.
About these single classes, these are not mine.
That's Jane Paris.
Jane carries 2
An
extra
extra
chairs.
pair for free.
Yes.
You want some?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Can't decide which one I
I
should
have,
do.
I don't. You know, look, terrible use. Weird, no, it's really, they kind of mix your hair.
Oh,
It's got this like. Busters on.
Yeah.
Weird way is.
John's gonna take his, take his.
I love that.
Unusual way.
Please help yourself. Oh, Eileen, I'm going to call you, I promise. We have to talk.
Is there something that
Is worth, dig on through there. There's a bunch of stuff in there, like Halloween's early, right?
I know.
No, I'm gonna keep like, but thank you.
I can't buy Halloween candy until that day.
Yeah.
It will disappear.
Here we go, guys. Call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Oh.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I wish to announce that the 48-hour notice is required under the Open Public Meetings Act, was emailed to the Asbury Post-Star and the New Poster on December the 19th of 2024, that a copy has been placed on the bulletin board in the borough office and that a copy has been filed with the municipal clerk. Please be advised, public attendance for meetings through Zoom is a courtesy only. If for any reason Zoom fails or is disconnected, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption and action can and will be taken, providing that there is an in-person quorum. Mr. Noble?
Here.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Here.
Mr. Nowicki?
Here.
Mr. Weber?
Here.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We've got a pretty full agenda today. Hopefully we'll move through it at a pretty good pace. We are going to begin with a quick change of the agenda. I'll turn to Council President DeNoble in a second. And then we will proceed to an executive session that should run 20 minutes or a little more, 20 to 25 minutes. So just a heads up, the full meeting won't really get going for about a half an hour. But with that said, Jane, did you care to make a motion?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion that we do the presentations and bids first. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes.
Okay, let's switch my glasses. I can see both. Okay, so we are gonna start out on a very happy note. And we're delighted to present a certificate of appreciation this evening. Our superintendent, Dr. Heidelberg, the Board of Ed members, and the entire staff at the Bradley Elementary School work incredibly hard, consistently going above and beyond. And it's truly exciting when we get to recognize someone for their outstanding work. And tonight we honor a dedicated educator who has made a tremendous impact. Heather Sauer has been teaching science to the grades 3 through 8, third grade through 8th grade for the past 11 years. And this year, she received the prestigious recognition as a sustainability hero. Heather's initiatives, including founding the Environmental Club, organizing the planting of grass in the dunes, and establishing a working hydroponic garden for their students. On behalf of the mayor and council, we would like to thank Heather Sauer, for her dedication, innovation, and leadership in sustainability. Please join us in congratulating her as we present their certificate of appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we are going to present the certificate of appreciation. Come a little closer, role play.
No, I don't.
We can all stand.
This is presented to Heather Sauer, Sustainability Hero, for inspiring and engaging Bradley Beach Elementary School students in hands-on science education projects to promote health, energy efficiency, and environmental awareness. And this is a quote from Heather. "We are a small but mighty community, and together we can make a real difference. That is the essence of sustainability." Whoa! Heidelberg is here from the superintendent of Bradley Beach Elementary. Come on, right?
Okay, you sure? Ready? Okay. Perfect.
And would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I am going to read off a piece of paper, possibly, but I'm going to try my best to do it. So, first of all, I'm truly humbled and honored to be here tonight, to be recognized by all of you. This is such a big recognition, and I literally could not have done it without everyone by my side. Dr. Heidelberg, my own family who's here tonight, the Board of Education, my students who are my heart, my environmental club, the staff at Bradley Beach Elementary School, the families at Bradley Beach Elementary School, and just BBX, like Bradley Beach as a whole. Like, I am honored to be such a part of such an amazing school and community, and that's why we are where we are tonight. And again, I know it's an individual award, but it shouldn't have been. I really wish it could have been a whole group award, because this was not just me. This Bridget Devane actually started this with me, and she's the one who got it up and running with me, and I literally could not have done it without her. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone here tonight, Bradley Beach community, and again, my staff, my family, my kids, sorry, you. And also done tree information with all of our kids, and I've learned so much through you. So thank you so much. But again, everyone, thank you. I really appreciate this recognition. It's really big, but it's because of all of you. Like I said, small but mighty, right? So here we are. So let's continue this sustainability, and I look forward to doing that with you guys in the future. Thanks, guys. Yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Thank you. Also, this guy made me do a recycling video when I first started at Bradley Beach, what, 12 years ago? He's like, come on, sustainability for the town, let's talk about recycling.
Wait, talk about efficiency, all that speech was on that little piece of paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, thank you very much, everyone, I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much.
all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now we will return to the agenda and move to item 5, which is executive session. And as I mentioned earlier, we expect this will be about 20 minutes or so, and then we will return. So I'll make a motion to move to executive session.
Second,
Mr. Noble?
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Zubatose?
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
It's just the House Council. Are we waiting on? Wait on. Wait on. Hi, how are you?
Oh, yeah.
Making that up, I was like thinking about raising 4 years ago.
Go ahead. Take a pick of the seats. There's a line out, right? We'll figure that out.
Every once in a while, somebody said, "Oh, there's a third of the system." So, that's the out of the world right now. So, I'll drop that.
Yeah.
We already got this because that shows both.
In my work, I
So when you went to.
She said, that's what I thought, just came from sugar. No, like that's what you get. It might be a little. We're not sure. So I don't know. So you know about. So, you know, get it.
Yeah, yes. And again, it's a thing, you've seen both the guys, but they have each on 21st. Same guy. Across the street, this order. Personal rights.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, you know, it's experience.
Okay.
I just told you about that. Now we're looking at it, it's, you know, there's, whatever chance it is, something is not. Worst case scenario, with that. Saying this earlier.
I'm gonna talk about it. And you live forever. Yes. Last night. I know, first, I get her. So this is what.
So it's worth it. And they had was actually got your mind. So he gets to get one honest. So much like she goes in. I got her PhD. AP. Nurse practitioner, got anyway, she got that. She's in the same there. She lives in state. And, so getting married. I think her. I think it is. The people who want to know the straight, this is figure out what it is. Down there, I think it's more down there, whatever, that's where you're getting tired. So we're finding out. How's the doors? But I was not extensions. There's a lot of control, and it's got control, so we're gonna go to the earth. So they're all, but they have with the. The wedding, they do, or the wedding the day after. And we'll drive over to go. It's right, by the sparring. Yeah, we don't go. But so you know, I don't know where it's there. No, we're not saying it's. We've already played.
No, that's being a bike, this is, that's what it's like.
She wants to ride bicycle down the beach, that's why, the only time she was there, but she loved to go to ride bicycle. They do that.
Yeah, you have to go to the gym house, to the street, right up to the light. In Palmetto Dunes is really the spots in the room. It's not that easy to get in. But it's a first place. And then the seamless.
They were only be there for a day and then we're driving down to Savannah for 3 days.
Okay, yeah, that's a good stuff.
I swear to God, it's your hair day.
Yeah. No. First one. Yeah, that's the slam.
But I guess we can, it's not a pretty test. Coming back.
So maybe yes. Yeah, okay. Where he goes. First of all, there, but we had cats, you know, and I got something. I was head down something of my heart and parts. The rest of them are all cats. That's a lot more for us. 6 hours a day. I got playing a short. Carry my own back. Sound like things like this. I could also carry.
I don't want to do lights.
It's not that relationship. Should be pretty cool.
So how does it travel?
That's what I looked it up. Let's go Texas.
Go to Texas, yeah.
Down there. Everything goes there. See, that's what I said. It's not that bad. And the so long. But some guys go to LA.
How many are you going?
Yeah.
Oh, work.
Well,
It's my friends, somebody dropped out and said, hey, so, but I always felt. And songs, 5 stories, so yeah, they gave all the names of all the guys, and itinerary, we had a guy who makes a speech place, tells you. 6 feet up until 90, it's crazy. Oh, that's not the worst.
there's some of the courses at the same hotel where you gotta pick up
No,
and
we
go
got
every single.
we actually worked our way down to Wellington, and then that's our last night, fly then fly tonight. So these guys got all night after. But it had the names of all guys, so you know, this guy, member of Pebble Beach, member of Lake Valley, member of some. What they have, member, it says. Teacher comes to like Chatty Buddy. Sure. Former president. Yeah, it should be some interesting one, this physical, right? Sure. And so she kind of did that.
So, traffic economy, you got business, you got a little bit.
My friend, yeah, it's like. So I can't really don't have this. So I was like, well, what either they just. I'll go, yeah, I started to out straight. I'll hire helicopters. I think that's a big, nice little, I'm driving. Okay, my best friend. She goes, well, I think I get it. I'm not even sure. That's.
Yeah.
What's the longest you've ever flown?
He directed his wife.
That's 12.
Sounds nice, you know, it's a lot. You know, 6-7 hours. All in.
I can't imagine charter a whole mission for, they didn't have a barrack, they just couldn't do that. So this is about 40 years ago. It was chartered to Greece. So they did that. Fueling, they used to see.
Oh.
Their bells were headed, but I was on the plane for like 14 hours. It was just like, it was like. So I'm walking around like.
Sure. If they give me a deal of bump to business class, like, you know. That's pretty common. It should be, like, you know.
Well, you were gonna go to horse. Economy plus. Like 1,200 and economies, like 3,400 plus 1,009. It was.
They don't. They were.
Oh, yes.
Yes, they take people.
Well.
Yeah, we might have.
I think down what it is. Oh, there's somebody's taking colors.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, I believe it was like over. I know. Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. Oh, this is good. This is great.
Yeah, how is it? Yeah, it's small.
That was like 70.
A lot of things. Each block.
Yankee scored 7 runs. That was second. No.
Now, they're expecting. I just show up, they don't show up. It's just, you know, unfortunately, there's also. So, my strength. I said, it was nice. What you do. There's not much use in her. So, I was thinking, there's the. Past time taking off. They're not the only thing that I'm, you know, it's gonna change strength. You know, what's frustrating is that like sending and you guess the last 15 years. So 62 pages, people aren't getting to this thing, you know, their stuff was mostly. But yet, you know, it's really, it's reading. Obviously, I asked, and I said, I have a different perspective in my development. Alright, so it is probably actually been really good thing. I've been in that fact, obviously, the people who I want, of course, I got phone calls. So that's simply based on independent reason. The way that I guess is the way. Now, I know what it's just not. It's actually not what it's not. It's safe. Skills and ego to the vector there. That age. I think it's not. And I bring up they switched it up. That's what
And then they have to.
You know what? If they pass it on, then it's great because it's getting the sun out. There's will be lost, there'll be lost, worse than we got. Yes, left over budgets.
And then just the light.
No, I didn't. Too legal. The others. The purpose of that. Joint insurance fund. It's basically just the. Full
This is my.
Was. As you see, well, current. You know, it's something. Yep. Again, the lawsuit, but you could still motion is settled by the judge. The lawsuit now is ongoing, there's two, actually, there's managers, whistleblowers, all whistleblower lawsuits. And now the assistant aspect of this, based on, so that's all it was read the mayor's plan. The next to vote in that year. And like they know, you have me. They told you to. Check the ground. You're gonna have some. I don't know what they will actually get, but now insurance are always a little, so that they are. Oh, we could have done it a bit, where you pay feelers that springs like secrets, like the reality. Oh, it's just the best. I was, you know, when I got there first, that's, there were more than that. Everybody, you have to do your own internal design. There's six counts here, and they all around you. So it's like, they all have. I had to go to the mall, so I had. And I had. So. There's this. The administrator worked with the investment council. They're fine, it worked really well, and sometimes you know, should be, I think everybody's. And they say, why did that? It's also not of this. You know, I'm saying, it's not, it's fine, I am this. All of a sudden, you know, there's something has to go with that. That's. But we work together very well. And they don't want to build anything's confident. And so that's the sole person. You made 6 weeks. That's what's different. Sorry, they're expanding their building. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they decide to lie about this quick, that's what he wants to take. Right, I mean, it's all who you know.
Yeah.
You go for something, you never went to council, right? That's right.
So when I was trying to keep paying the, if you're
Candidates are that. To make this easier for us.
Their bodies.
That's real stuff. We're gonna make some notes. See the, you know, realize it's here. I don't just think, well, first, I can understand the voice. Someone like to, would say, it's plays. I used to go live drum. This is a bad, but we have no other choice but make our best to say, well, And that's basically what's happening.
I waste my
I'm not gonna
time.
get super short, not those.
Yeah.
I feel like everything was so. Done, everything in this bag. It's just hard.
You need to come back here in the city.
That's what it is. So what do you? I would say it. That's not even. It's gonna be.
So this way, this is right we have right now. The slave is up there.
You remember when Gary got set plan? Yes, we got. And they picked up their packet at the office, they would open up the package and I mean, these guys, research. Oh, yeah, you heard, but it's so slowly. All say those, that's not money. But I mean, if you read the bits, right? He's an out.
I actually started.
Oh, he's a gentleman.
Humphrey versus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's, okay, it's the culture, that's just gonna happen. Well, they all know this. Everything's a step. Nobody wants to, Yeah, the election, some people settle down. Nobody wants to vote quarterly, not just. I like to vote quarterly all over. It's that's not long. Not just because. All the break, they don't understand what it's about.
Yeah, no one gets. Yeah, we're very sure, yeah. Say that. If you want to hear me, we
Break it up. So you're at the peak, it says. This exceptional change. You were number one, very good. Structure that has already some of the something different. Not very.
Absolutely, and not that, you know, you saw the state and not get it. Right. But that was actually. And then we had, I mean, the reason why it's also there, is because this, in other states, I mean, they stayed there. But. So you can get. It's not, that's not.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying. It's still very.
It's not the first day, it's not to go through that. So don't make it sound like, oh, it's very fast.
I mean, I've had the lawsuits, but you should actually go.
Yeah, 5 years.
You're gonna get something good. You're gonna get somebody with six position as you. Yeah, you're gonna.
I would think it's privacy. It's a person that's gonna say, "Oh, things are desired."
You gotta have the certification. How many people extract the regular certification? I just met a class. And she worked for Fairmont for years. And so it's Spain. Just like, I think they have to get it found out.
Yeah, it's like.
Why don't you get a certification? Listen, you're on. If you want to do it. But then, they have a lot of time, like, you know, you go on that, go ahead.
Yeah, right there.
But that's the, there's no conduit or nothing. It's all like, you're not wrong. And you're always put us around. But you have the guy, the first guy.
I expect to see that, and I thought.
They sold it.
So, caution of understood. Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Oh, basically the deal for that, yeah. Yeah, basically, this financial.
I got my.
Yes.
Yeah, my pretty good.
Somebody. At least it's not that we count some.
Anything, and I.
Right there. It was in the house.
Yeah.
You have to make a motion to reopen. Okay.
Right, yeah, right?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion that we return to public session.
Mr. Noble,
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt,
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki.
Yes.
Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose.
Next up, we have resolution 2025-304. A resolution authorizing the settlement of pending litigation before the Superior Court of New Jersey, Monmouth County. Would anybody like to make any additional comments or questions on this? Before we go ahead and approve this.
I would actually, I'm sorry, I'm just looking for the actual resolution in my list here. Sorry.
That's okay. It came today.
Yep, got it. Okay. Yes, I just wanted to share what was written in the resolution specifically and share this with the public. That despite the borough's continuing denial of any liability in the action, it is in the best interest of the taxpayers of the borough that the action be fully and finally settled insofar as the JIF is financially responsible. Therefore, the borough previously tendered its deductible to the JIF, and the borough cannot bear the cost of continuing litigation in the event of adverse effects upon its insurance coverage.
That's a good point. This is basically a business decision. There, where the borough is denying all the allegations and the claims made therein. And they're expressly denying all liability. So rather than to continue to litigate, and defend against the claims made, the JIF is financially responsible for the action, except for the borough's $1,500 deductible. Any further comments?
Yeah, I just want to add that, when we say business decision, this all comes down to the cost of litigation. And what insurance companies, how they measure risk. And at the end of the day, what is that risk? Would that number become so much more or less based on a jury? And therefore, when you look at these, in my experience with corporate America and other HR issues and whatnot and claims, you're best off is finding and following that advice of the professionals and looking to see how to balance that risk, minimizing it. And with a $1,500 payment remaining for us, it's the right thing to do is to close this down and advance Bradley Beach to the future and put this behind us.
Move the borough forward. I agree. Any other comments? Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-304.
Second,
Ms. DeNoble,
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt,
yes.
Mr. Nowicki,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
No.
Mayor Gubatosi.
I will abstain. Okay. Back to the agenda. Item 6 is workshops, and today we have none scheduled. Item 7, we have already covered the presentations. Item 8, approval of minutes, and I will make a motion that we approve the minutes from September 16, 2025 council business meeting.
Second,
Ms. DeNoble,
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt,
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi.
Yes. Item 9 on the agenda, opening it up to public comments or questions pertaining to any item on the agenda only. Public comment or questions? Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. I'm Marta Young, representing Clean Water Action, live in Lincroft, New Jersey. Want to thank you all very, very much for the introduction of Skip the Stuff ordinance, which is the campaign in which businesses provide cutlery and condiments upon request. You guys will make 26th New Jersey policy, and which is fabulous. I did a case study for the town of Red Bank, which shows a 94% reduction in the amount of stuff the businesses are providing, which equates to money saved for these businesses, let alone the fact that more often than not, the cutlery and condiments are given to people who take it home and we don't know what to do with it. So we shove it in a junk drawer, we put it directly into the wastebasket. We put it in the, the little ketchup packets or mayonnaise packets in the back of the refrigerator until they begin to rot or spill out of the drawers. That is a huge benefit to businesses, let alone the litter that's gonna save the towns, the 70% of litter comes from food and beverages, which clog storm drains, which then add to flooding for towns. Plastic is making the news for the amount of contamination that we're all exposed to. Eating that plastic fork that breaks is an easy way of proving to the studies that we now have a plastic spoon's worth of weight of a plastic spoon in our brain. But it's leading to breast cancers, testicular cancers, infertility, and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and a slew of other diseases. So thank you very much. Really appreciate your leadership on this. The state is hopefully going to be passing state during lame duck. We're getting great momentum on that, great feedback, strong legislation and support. So thank you very much. Really appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions? Yes, sir.
Bob West, 518. Just to clarify that past resolution. With the way that vote rolled out, so it was approved, one abstained, no, that's approved.
Yes,
It takes three, Bob, so.
Yeah,
you're
just
correct.
just to clarify, okay, thank you, thank you.
Sure, thank you. Other comments or questions in the room? Anyone on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment, move on to item 10 on the agenda, ordinances. And we have a number of ordinances to introduce this evening. Let me just remind everyone that we won't open any of these items to public comment during the introduction phase. In our next council meeting, to the extent we're moving them forward to adopt, you'll have opportunities to comment as a public. So for introductions, first bond ordinance is 2025, I'm sorry, yeah, the first ordinance is a bond ordinance, 2025-31. Any comments or questions from the council?
I just wanted to point out, first of all, that this increase amount to appropriate is for the gate. To include the gate, is that correct?
This is the outlet gate at Sylvan Lake that
Right,
controls the water flow out of the lake
Right.
to the ocean outfall that's under construction today.
right. So to get that in this project is huge for everyone who lives near Sylvan Lake. So I just wanted to say that, and also, there's an 80-20 liability, right? So the,
75-25
oh, 75-25. So 25 is shared between Bradley Beach and Avon.
for the project. The change order though, right now is not necessarily gonna be 75-25. We're in discussions with DEP for them to apply their contingency. They have contingency money in their contract. So as a worst case, we'll be sharing a 50-50 with Avon. But we're hopeful that DEP will not spend all their contingency money and will be able to apply some of that money towards this construction. So that it would help provide some, alleviate some costs to the boroughs. And so, worst case was that we were gonna have to do this, bid it out ourselves, go through a lengthy process. And DEP is also expediting our permits and working with us so that we can incorporate this into this construction project versus us going on a long, dam approval process. I say dam, not as an adjective, as a noun. That would take long period of time to get through the whole process, but because they're doing this work down there already, and we've argued that this is connected to that project. They're in agreement to incorporate this as long as we could demonstrate that the funding would be in place in November. And they would work with us to get the permits in place and be able to move it into construction in the winter months.
So the worst case scenario on the gate would be a $960,000 liability shared with Avon.
Yeah.
And the best case scenario would be
less.
that we pay, that the two communities pay 25% of that. Best case.
That would be the best case.
Okay,
Well, there could be a better case if the cost can.
Well, and right, the costs are not there yet. That's an estimate. And so we still have to go through a negotiation with the contractor to be able to establish the price.
great job.
The one other point that you haven't yet mentioned, but I think it's important for the residents to understand. We did a bond ordinance back in 22 for 3.5 million. And when we do a bond ordinance, we're authorizing the borough to borrow it, but we don't actually borrow the money, take the money out until we need it. What we're doing is amending that ordinance from a couple of years ago, from 3 years ago, to add on the number you guys have been discussing, the 960,000, because the original 3.5 million was tied to the outfall pipe, the pipe that runs right out into the ocean. In order to do the work on the outfall pipe, what Councilman Nowicki and our engineers and our contractors have identified is we need to be able, we don't have a functioning gate. That's a separate project. However, we deemed it necessary to do it in order to fix the outfall pipe. So we're amending this bond ordinance to include the repair of the gate in the broader outfall project. And that's important in terms of how we apply for grant funding and so forth, to make sure it's all part of the same project.
And this is to replace the gate.
Yes, replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, full replacement.
And the amendment is, as you heard, 960,000. That's 800,000 of estimated hard costs, 160,000 of estimated soft costs being designed by the engineers and permitting and things like that.
Right, construction management.
Yep. So that number could be less. That is what we were advised to authorized to borrow, but we always authorize on the high end to make sure we have enough, so it could be a few $100,000 less, and certainly we're hoping it will be. So, with any other comment? I'll make a motion that we approve the introduction of bond ordinance 2025-31.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Introduction of ordinance 2020 of amendment to ordinance it's 2025-32. This is the now famous skip the stuff ordinance introduction. Any comments or questions?
I have, even though we've had great comments from the public, I'll just reiterate, 25 towns have done this in New Jersey, we would be the 26th. There's a state bill pending, so maybe we can be the town that got the state to move it along and get it done. We workshopped this a while ago, everybody will remember. I definitely got some feedback from some businesses in town. Some of them are essentially already doing this, and you know, on the one hand, something, well, we're already doing this, so we don't need an ordinance, but I really thought about this long and hard and with the Environmental Commission and others, and you know, we can't always count on having these great responsible businesses in town that do the right thing without a law, so it's probably better off to have a law. It's gonna cut down on a lot of plastic waste and it's the right thing to do. So, is it time to second it, Mayor?
Well, thank you,
Okay.
Councilman, for
You'll make it the motion.
well, number one, thank you for leading us down this particular path. It was your initiative that brought it to our attention. Any other comments or questions? Okay, I will make a motion that we approve the introduction of 2025-32. Skip the stuff.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. I probably should note that the next 4 ordinance introductions are largely cleanup efforts on our part before year end. Little things and if you look at any of these, you'll see they're relatively minor edits, changes. I'll briefly mention them as we go through them, but largely cleanup efforts on the part of the council to just get us ready for 2026. So with that said, the next introduction is 2025-33, an ordinance amending chapter 270 land development of the borough's revised general ordinances to revise and clarify regulations pertaining to planting strips. The changes are largely focused on wording in our ordinance that we're finding difficult to enforce. Specifically, we have current language that talks about grandfathering artificial turf, for example, or pavers, things that should not be in the planting strip that are, if we say it grandfathered before a certain date. But it's really difficult, if not impossible, for us to track when some of these additions of astroturf or pavers were made. So we're amending the language just to make it a little cleaner for our own enforceability. Any comments or questions on this one?
Yeah, I have some comments and questions. It seems, I agree with you about the grandfathering. I do get that. I feel like we used to make a distinction. You know, we're sort of saying nothing but grass. But they are, if you have a property without driveway, you are allowed to have a walkway not more than 3 feet wide across the planting strip. And I thought that we used to make a distinction about a curb cut, like if there's a curb cut there, like you definitely have that. If you don't have a curb cut, I don't know why you should be allowed to just have that, and that seems to have, that part has gone away. I just feel like some people that don't have a walkway across the planting strip, they're just gonna put one because it just says they can, whereas I thought it used to just say well, if they don't have a driveway, then yeah, I just feel like more people are gonna put that in. But where does that leave one, if you do have a driveway and there's a curb cut for that walkway across the planting strip, where does that leave that?
Thank you for your question. I gotta make sure I understand it, John, because I believe we did not change that language. You said that we've changed it. Where are you seeing that? What? I think that language was already there and we did not change it. Do you have it? Can you reference what section it is?
I was just going from memory that we used to make this distinction about the curb cut, and it seemed like now that is not the case.
I don't think we've made any changes. All we're basically saying for that particular issue, the cement walk is, those cement, those little 3 foot by 3 foot squares in a lot of us, my own house, we have these in the planning strip. It's a pervious coverage. It's not, it goes back to horse and buggy days. We don't really need that as a general rule. So what this was attempting to do was, along with other things we don't care to have in the planning strip, such as astroturf.
Mm.
That's a good one, pavers.
Sure. No, I get
Yeah,
I
we're
agree with the not grandfathering, but what it got eliminated, it's the bottom of the first page, the part that was eliminated. Was for properties with driveways, walkways within the grass planting strip are grandfathered and permitted, but may not be enlarged if the walkway was in place and aligned with the curb cut. So again, we used to make this distinction that if you, even if you had a driveway, if you had a curb cut to that walkway across the planting strip, that was okay, and you could keep that. So I'm wondering, now that this is getting rid of that, where does that leave a property with a driveway that has a walkway across the planting strip and also has a curb cut?
Okay, so you left out the most important part as you read that, which is aligned with the curb cut as of July 15, 2020, right? So we could not measure when some of these take place unless our code enforcement is going out every day and or seeing new cement saying, oh, they put in a new
Well,
thing.
I think it would show up on someone's survey. So if they ever,
Okay, that's just not the way code enforcement works. They're not gonna.
well, I know, but if somebody asked me, said. I mean, if it ever became an issue, if it became like, can you keep it, can you not keep it? If you can't produce a survey before that date that shows it, then you can't keep it. And if you can produce a survey before that date, then you keep it. Right?
Well, okay, it's, what you're describing is an enforcement nightmare, because they just can't do that easily, but it's not telling people who have it, like I have one. It's not telling me I have to take it out. If I live this long, 20 years from now, when I sell my house, to take occupancy, the new owner would have to deal with the curb cut. So we're not aggressively taking anything away, other than over time, we'd like all of our planting strips to have more pervious coverage. So for example, if you have a curb cut, this is not an imposition on you until someone wants to buy your house,
No, I understand that it's just a lot, like doing the curb work is a lot more work than just picking up a couple of pavers that you took across the planting strip. That's all.
Do you want to propose a change in the language
Um,
at all?
no, I just want to make sure I understand what the way this is, so. Okay.
So when there's a curb cut and someone sells their house next year, the new occupants need to
Yeah.
remove that curb cut
The curb cut for the walkway, not for.
in the walkway,
Yeah,
in the walkway.
No,
Because there's so many homes with curb cuts, right?
yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not,
No, you're saying, yeah.
no, we're talking about the cement, the 3 foot by 3 foot cement slab. Some
Right.
of them have curb cuts.
That's what I mean, like,
We're not saying remove the curb cut, we're saying
You have to-
remove the cement slab.
I guess that's what I meant. So
Yes.
any home that turns over that has that would have to do
Yes,
that.
yeah. By the way, code goes through this with well, they should, if we're doing our job collectively, they should go through this with every CCO, certificate of current occupancy. So, they check for, I don't know, garbage disposals and, whatever, all kinds of things on your property. Are you in compliance or not? And it's up to you, the property owner, to work with the person buying your property. Is your property in compliance? So it'll be a thing added to a checklist saying you gotta remove the cement from the planting strip.
It's an effort just to make more pervious
Right.
land.
No, I
We have a lot
get
of
it.
responsibility being here at
Right.
the ocean and, you want to reduce stormwater, flooding,
Right.
ponding. So I recently removed mine. I had my sidewalk worked on and I got rid of that piece between the sidewalk and the
I mean,
street.
just knowing the streets of Bradley Beach also, there are so many cement planting strips.
Yes, that's
Things like that. So
completely-
all of those things have to be remediated when there's a
Yes.
turnover on property.
Yes.
The other thing that we're doing is when you replace the sewer and they do the laterals from the main and the center of the street out to the property to make the connection. If the contractor disturbs that little, the walkway on that planting strip, they're not gonna replace the walkway, they're gonna put it back as grass. Unless, of course, you don't have a driveway, then you're allowed to have it, so that would be replaced.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for, I appreciate the discussion.
Does anyone want to propose any edits or changes to this language? All right, I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 2025-33 pertaining to revising and clarifying regulations for the hour planning strips.
Second,
Ms. DeNoble?
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes. 2025-34 is, we're amending a couple of zoning fees. Again, we've done this throughout the year. These are fees that haven't been updated in probably over a decade. For example, moving zoning permit application from $45 to $75. Any comments or questions? All right, I will make a motion that we approve 2025-34, amending chapter 450 of zoning.
Second,
Ms. DeNoble?
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes. 2025-35, this is another modest amendment, but it's important. Once again, it again pertains to grandfathering, which, as I mentioned earlier, we just have no ability to measure dates of when things were planted or cement that's been placed. In this case, we are amending our bamboo and invasive plants, invasive species ordinance to remove grandfathering language. Any comments or questions?
Am I right, since this one's not marked up, this is, you just started fresh, like you don't, this is not a. Right, like you're not,
No, this is,
there's not like strike
You're right.
throughs and underlines, like you just started fresh. Yeah.
there should be though, I think.
It said it was replacing.
Okay,
Should replace.
Said that in the beginning, didn't it?
so my only thing, and this, it seems really good, I definitely remember talking to a person that removes bamboo. For a living, and their problem with our ordinance was that they said there's no reason to come out. And inspect. Unless, except for like a year later. So I see in the third page, letter C, there's follow-up inspections, 1, 2, 3 at the bottom of that third page. Says code enforcement come out in 30 days, then it says they'll come out in 6 months and 12 months. Do you remember talking to this person, the contract? I remember, I thought he was adamant about just once a year, like there's no reason to come out. I mean, I don't know if that substantially changes this, but do you know how we got the 6 month and the 12 month?
It was from, plagiarizing from other ordinances, but that was one other related challenge that we face is there's no such thing as bamboo licensing. So we can't say a licensed
Of
bamboo
course,
contract.
right, it's just,
Right.
he just does it for, I'm just taking.
So, yeah, so in our effort to get the best answer, we probably erred on the side of over inspecting, but the person you and I spoke with was come back in a year because you can't tell anything. This ordinance was a compromise because we only had inspected upon removal.
Yeah.
And so this was supposed to be
Okay.
6 months and
Well,
12.
let me ask the attorney a quick question. Greg, if we pass this in this form and then really we talk about it, we figure out that really we should take a sentence out of this thing and get rid of the 6 month inspection, can we pass the same ordinance at the next meeting, even though there's a sentence difference?
To what, remove interim inspection from it?
Yeah, well,
I'd
this
say
has,
that's a nominal change. I don't think that doesn't change what the ordinance is
okay, so we
doing.
could pass this as today, like do a little more homework, and if we decide to define, is that okay with you, Matt? Mayor, we'll-
Well,
Yeah.
with the other discussion,
Well, I mean, like, so first within 30 days, you have to remove it, then 6 months, they're gonna check, see how it's going, and then they do it again in 12 months. I don't think there's any harm in doing it.
Right,
Twice.
this guy. And I'm not remembering verbatim what he said,
Right.
like, there's just no sense in coming back until a year has gone
Okay.
by.
Well,
Like, I think it was, because it's not gonna spring, it's not gonna propagate and send out new things to like the spring, so depending on what time of year, like. 6
Right.
months later, it could be, and that almost sounds like a waste of inspection resources and they're limited, so. I'm not saying change it now, let's pass this one as is, I'm totally fine with that.
Is
And
not that many residents that have this. It's not like, houses.
I'm interested in getting it right, because
Yeah.
we're redoing this because we really made a great effort last time. Through practice, we found out that it could be a little bit better, so I was trying to go with what that expert said. Let me do my due diligence, share with all you, and if we wanna take out a sentence in the next one, can we do it?
Fair enough.
And John, if you, what you're thinking you want to review is the 6 month inspection.
Yeah,
So for example, if you want to take that out, it would be as simple as item number 2, additional
Yeah.
inspections shall occur, it'd be singular,
yeah,
and additional inspections shall occur at 12 months.
yeah, exactly.
And Greg, you think that would be minor enough that we would not have to reintroduce the ordinance?
Let's remove one of the inspections if it's not needed, no.
Yeah.
When the overall regulatory, like that changes a lot of things about the regulations, that's not a very big part of it.
That's not a part of it.
Not a very big part of it.
Okay. I just want to make sure that
Yeah, me too.
I'm confirming what John said.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. Any other comments or questions about 2025-35 bamboo? Okay, I will make a motion that we approve the introduction of 2025-35 bamboo and invasive plants, noting that Councilman Weber may do additional review before adoption.
Second,
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes,
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Ordinance 2025-36, the last of our introductions, amending chapter 160, construction codes, uniform certificates of occupancy of the borough's revised general ordinances. All this is, again, is cleanup. A number of months ago, we changed almost all of our fees. At that point, a lot of them were 20 years old or older. They had not been updated. We have a new construction official, Brian Curry, new, and that he's back with the borough. He's been with the borough before. He identified to us a handful, probably 10 across 5 pages of ordinance, maybe 10 fees that we had adjusted that needed to be readjusted to align with uniform commercial, uniform construction code. So you can look through the document if you'd like, but they're relatively nominal adjustments. We just have to make sure we're aligned with the UCC.
I had a comment.
Please.
Item H, I guess what page is this, just to show me, the fee for roofing and siding work, completed on structures. That's been completely removed, so we've removed that requirement for a fee.
I'm guessing, I don't know this, but I'm guessing that's because you no longer need a permit for roofing and siding work that whereas you used to. Does that sound right? Anybody? Anybody feel? You say yes? You say
Yes. Brian,
Yeah. Okay, correct.
is that correct? Okay, I did not know that.
Okay, so that was one question I had, and then the other, it references on page 3. Where in the borough, let me just say page 3, so I'm not able to read my own notes. The fee to erect a fence greater than 6 feet in height shall be $75. Do we have fences greater than 6 feet in height in the borough?
We do not. Good catch.
That'll be a variance.
And where's page?
Page 3,
Letter O,
letter O,
in the middle of the page. No, not towards the top.
letter O.
Yeah, no, I see, I
Yeah,
see.
there.
And that didn't change, right? That's already in our ordinances.
Yeah.
Well, Paul makes a good point. You could erect a fence greater than 6 feet, but you would need a variance. I'm not sure you would ever get such a variance, but
It only costs you $75.
Again, this is intended to be cleanup. No one had any in-depth discussions about why we should have fences over 6 feet, but this wasn't even a chain of intended, Sean, so I don't know, I don't want to strike it. You want to table the entire edits until we find out more. I just don't know the answer.
I just don't see any reason if we don't allow fences greater than 6 feet at this point, why we would have that in there, that's all.
Yeah, I guess it's, the obvious is if they got a variance to get in, they'd have to pay $75.
And if we had nothing in there and they got a variance for
They
it,
wouldn't have to pay $75.
Is there a difference on, and I don't know this, but residential versus like a commercial property? Are you allowed to have a tall fence on a commercial property?
I think so.
so,
I'm not, that's the only thought I would have. If you had like an industrial lot and you wanted to put an 8-foot fence. Would that be allowed? Based on the ordinances, I don't.
Maybe around garbage.
And then if you look further, item S, it says each item not listed above shall be a fee of $75. So that would take care of it if that's the case, I think. If that's what's intended in that verbiage.
Apparently, there are other things that our construction officials identified may not be included, and he wanted that catch-all.
So that catch-all though would cover fence greater than 6 feet. So,
If somebody knew to apply it, right? I can't debate this with you. I don't know.
yeah, no, I'm just pointing that.
Construction. All right, I think we table it until we do the follow-up on it. I don't want to strike it without knowing if there's any significance to it. Everyone okay if I make that motion? Any other comments or questions? Okay, I'll make a motion that we table the introduction of 2025-36 until we specifically can understand section
It's
160-3 B
1
10. Is there a second?
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Okay. We finally are out of the introductions. And we do have an ordinance to adopt. It is the off-street parking, driveway and loading requirements of chapter 450 zoning of the borough's revised general ordinances to prohibit front yard fences. And before I open it up to the public, are there any council comments or questions?
Well, speaking of grandfathering, there are some front yard fences out there, so. Presumably, they would just stay until one of those triggers like selling the house, for CO, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Not in my yard.
No, you're right.
And nothing prevents anybody to come and get a zoning variance to permit them to get a front yard fence, if they could demonstrate a need. So,
And the land use board did review this ordinance introduction when the council first approved it. They agreed that this change is consistent with the master plan. And now it's back to us to whether or not we want to adopt. Okay, no other comments or questions from the council? I'd like to open it up to the public. Any comments or questions from the public? Yes, yes.
I guess make a motion there.
Oh, I make a motion that we. open it up to the public.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. All right, Anna.
Ariana, 200 Evergreen. Was there ever a discussion about exempting corner lots from front yard fences?
For exempting corner lots?
Yeah,
I don't,
corner lots in terms of how front yard is the backyard.
I mean, I might not have personally been privy to it. I know the general discussions I was personally involved in were related to line of sight. So on a corner lot, the issues concerning line of sight would have applied, I think, for a corner lot for either side, the front or the side.
And if I could,
Please.
that was actually something that had come to the land use board that basically created this, identified this as a potential consideration because of driveways. And some having two car driveways on, even on the side lot, of a corner, that frontage with, fences along there. Many of those, if you go out and look, would have to be defined, how to provide that sight line. And not every location is similar in a corner lot where people have fences today. And the types of fences vary, and could vary, nothing specified. So, the consideration was applied to both corner lot as well as, a front yard that does not sit on the corner. So both are frontage of streets, so they're considered front lots. So that would apply on both sides of a corner lot. And so there was consideration and discussion around that, even at the land use board, that brought this to council and for us to have considered it. So there really is no, from a sightline difference, it applies similarly, it matters not, because of the driveways and having fences potentially blocking views of somebody on the sidewalk walking along. and approaching a driveway, especially if you have another car parked adjacent to it and you have limited length backing out where you can't see. And so yes, to your question, it was considered.
So I personally have a disagreement with that, having a front yard fence and a driveway, because I think there's a lot of things that create sightline issues, including plantings and many things. So I think it's very unfair that I will now, if I sell my house, have to get a variance and pay money to get this fence approved. Is that what you're saying?
No, you would.
No, your fence would be there. You'd sell your house.
You just said if I go to sell it,
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't the buyer be liable to?
Well, I think if you went to sell your house, you would just have to remove the fence.
you,
No,
but it's a major part of.
Is that like? And function?
This gentlewoman has a fence on the side of her yard, she's in the corner, but if she sells it, she's not compelled to tear the fence down, and people buying it are not compelled to tear the fence down.
okay, so then.
No, this has no effect, it's just fence, front yard fences in general. You would not, you would have to need a variance either way, because you have two front yards. Your issue with the corner lot is you have two front yard areas.
But she has a fence right now.
I have a fence now, but you're saying. I'm
No, I
hearing-
mean, to give yourself some peace of mind, you can go to the zoning officer that this is all assuming that your current fence has a variance and is approved for two front yard areas. So assuming your fence is currently valid and has a variance, then you can go to the zoning officer and it's within 1 year of the adoption of this ordinance, they'll give you a certificate of non-conforming structure saying that this fence existed before it was banned by any ordinance.
But I didn't need to get a variance because it's permitted.
Yeah, it's permitted.
So I don't.
Okay, so you can go to the zoning officer and show them your survey or whatever you have, or a picture of your property. And they can give you a certificate of non-conforming structure. If this ordinance affects that, it would be grandfathered.
But so you're saying I do need to get a variance?
No,
It does
So
not,
I don't need to do anything?
you know what it's doing, well,
But will the buyer, if I sell my house, need to?
so hypothetically, you need not do anything. Okay, because you have a permitted fence that was on the property permitted before any ordinance was passed. However, if you were adversely affected by the adoption of this ordinance, you can go to the zoning officer. Zoning officer will give you a certificate of non-conforming structure. It means, it's basically the zoning officer saying, I acknowledge that you had this fence before the ordinance was passed, and therefore it's grandfathered. And they just give it to you. It's not a crazy application or anything like that. It's in the municipal land use law. If you wait more than a year, then only the board can give it to you.
But you're saying if I am adversely affected, I'm trying to understand.
I don't have your survey, I'm not your lawyer, I have no idea, I've never been to your property.
So I understand.
home tomorrow will be here.
You're totally correct.
Yeah, you're good now, you're good.
Size your house is
Many,
totally
many
fine.
people in this town.
I think all
have a
she's,
front yard
I
fence.
think all I am saying is that I have a conforming property right now.
Right.
I saw my house. Based on this ordinance, is that for me to be able to get a certificate or the buyer to get a certificate of occupancy, do they have to bring the fence into conformance? And take the fence down in order to get
Yeah.
a CO? And the
Yeah.
answer is no.
That's not the way zoning works, no.
But will I have to get a variance?
No, you never need a variance if you had something that was permitted before an ordinance was passed. The question is, how do you prove to the person who's buying your house that I have the permit, like say it was permitted, so you did you have to get a variance for this fence?
No.
Right, so you have no paper that says this fence is okay. I'm telling you that whenever the governing body adopts an ordinance that might make something on your property non-conforming, the zoning officer will just give you a piece of paper that you can stick in your file for when you go to sell your house, that the zoning officer recognizes that my fence was permitted before
Okay.
the ordinance and after. If you had a variance, it's easy because you just show the variance
Yeah.
and the variance has the date on it and no ordinance after that matters. But in your specific situation where it was permitted, and I was being, I did with hypothetical because I started to
No,
catch on
I-
to what your issue is. Because you have no piece of paper, I understand your concern. We can give you that piece of paper. It doesn't cost anything and it's part of the municipal land use law. So long as looks like we're gonna do it tomorrow.
But I'm speaking for many people in town, so.
You should tell anyone who has it that they can do this.
That's not my job.
You have a
Right,
permit.
well, but at the same time, this ordinance will be published in multiple newspapers. It's been noticed here
Okay.
tonight. There's 2 public hearings. And so the public, for all intents and purposes.
You're basically saying you have a year to get this piece of paper.
From the zoning law, you can get that piece of paper anytime if you
Anytime.
can prove
Okay.
it. But the zoning law, the easy one, where you don't have to go before the board, is within 1 year of the adoption of the ordinance, the zoning officer can just give it to you. But if you wait after that time,
Then you
Then-
do have to go. before
then you have to go before the board for a certificate of nonconformity.
Greg, I have a question. When Ariana got her fence, she went and got a permit to get the fence. Would
Yeah.
the permit serve as proof that it was pre-existing? And
If she had to submit a survey, that would probably work, yeah.
Do you keep those on record?
what year did you get your fence? Has it been that long? I mean, I think everything's computerized these days, right?
I don't know, I'm asking.
You're totally fine.
Okay, I'm not worried, I'm just, it
Yeah.
is a change that
Yeah, sure.
I think it's a big impact and I think I disagree with it, as you all know. But I just want to see what the impacts are.
There should be no impact on you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, can I make a comment? Because I didn't want to take any of Ms. Bucco's time. So we just had a discussion about an ordinance about planting strips and concrete and curb and whatever, and I heard we're getting rid of grandfathering, we're getting rid of grandfathering. I just heard the word grandfathering used about 5 times in this discussion just now. And the solution for Ms. Bucco seems completely different than the solution that was just suggested for people with this concrete path across the planting strip and a curb cut. So, and then I suggested, well, your survey should show it, and you said that's not a workable thing, and then he just said, hey, just take out your survey, and show that you have a fence, so. I'm really confused, and Greg, if you're getting any of
The
this.
fence is different than.
I am, but I have to tell you, it's very difficult to solve everyone's zoning issues at a meeting. Zoning is extremely particularized to a property, so without.
But I'm
very
trying to
specific-
understand broad categories of, we just changed this law, we're in the process, we said we want to get rid of grandfathering, we introduced it, sorry, we passed it. And, you know, this seems completely different, I'm not really clear on understanding.
Because the planning strip is in the right of way, and Ms. Bucco is talking about her property, which is only subject to zoning and not our other expansive jurisdiction.
That's,
And the change is that you're requiring everyone to put the planting strip basically back to grass everywhere in town, and that's pretty much the decision. That is very different than what was previously allowed under the last ordinance. Your point is well taken, Mr. Weber.
that is,
But that's the main distinction, to talk about the right of way versus, forgive me, I never pronounced your name, it's Ariana's property.
is it accurate to say our, like zoning doesn't affect things in the right of way, like our zoning is?
Yeah, because it's not your property. Somebody's biased you.
In the right of way, yeah, I mean, subject to municipal jurisdiction and not land use.
Okay,
For structure.
that's a great distinction, I thank you. Just
Any-
crazy with the grandfathering and
Any other public comments or questions? Mr. White?
Thomas J. Cohen, 612 Third Avenue. There's a very good point made by Councilwoman DeNoble. I mean, if people got permits for then $45. They would have that permit that showed you your fence was legal. So no one's gonna make you take the fence down unless you didn't get the permit. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, fence companies they just shoot in here like cowboys, put a fence up. That's the problem. I want to compliment the council and the land use board did approve it, to your point. Mayor, is that, you know, fences are supposed to make good neighbors, but some fences don't. The ordinance, previous ordinance was blank on what type of fences. Not every fence is a Hollywood white picket fence. You could have a blackboard and batten fence, you could have a galvanized chain link fence. If you think about the vista from west to east, if people put galvanized chain link fence up, that would break your whole line of view. So this is really protecting something, and to Councilman Nowicki's point, it came up at a land use board meeting. People didn't really understand you could have the fence. Avalon has the same ordinance, Spring Lake has the same ordinance. Otherwise, our ordinance is very liberal when it comes to side yards and rear yards where you can have 6 feet. So I think this ordinance is very good. And I did walk by Ms. Bucco's property, and it really almost appears that she would, I mean, again, I didn't go on the property just from there's an elevation differential to where it is. So code may require a railing there anyway. So it's a little bit of a different situation as opposed to just having a fence right on the front property line. It is substantially set back, but there really should be no issue with it. But thanks very much for passing this ordinance and thinking forward on it.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Yes.
Hello, my name is Henry Machos from 209 Third. And, I just wanted to just make not just to talk about, not just the litigation that was happening here that was settled. But I guess, I don't know, it seems like an ongoing issue with many litigations and settlements. And I just want to make a couple comments.
Okay, we're talking about the fence right now.
Oh, it's only.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so later on I could talk. about it.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry,
Good to see you, Henry.
I was intrigued.
I know, I know. You have
Okay,
to
any
stay on
other
point here.
comments or questions in the room? Any comments or questions on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, I will make a motion to close public comment and return to the agenda.
Second. Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes, okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the adoption of ordinance 2025-27.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki? Yes. Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes. We have three consent agenda resolutions. Does anyone want to discuss any of those independently?
Oh. Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve consent agenda resolutions 2025-305 through -307.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes. Okay, moving to individual resolutions, 2025-308 is authorizing the municipal clerk's office and QPA to advertise for requests for proposals for professional appointments for calendar year 2026.
Second.
Any comments? Well, I should have
I
asked.
think
any comments?
we're good.
I have a comment. We go through this process every year. I would like to suggest that we just have people do this electronically and not have to come here and physically drop off like a thing of paper this big. But I want to defer to our clerk to say, is there a compelling reason that people should have to come and drop off?
They don't.
paper?
The
don't.
QPA is gonna be doing it and it's electronic this year.
Oh, QPA is taking the whole thing over.
I can't promise you it's gonna stay that way, but that's how we're doing it.
Oh, QPA is gonna fill out the forms too, the comparison sheets.
Yeah, our money's worth on that. Keep it.
Yes, we are.
Thank you very much, Eric.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Any other comments or questions? I'll make a motion that we approve individual resolution 2025-308.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes. Individual resolution 2025-309, appointing James Wishbow as a part-time building inspector and building subcode official for a 4-year term. Comments or questions? Make a motion that we approve 2025-309.
Second.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes. 2025-310, approval to submit an award extension request for LA 2024 MA Bradley Beach Borough, Fifth Avenue improvements, 13 to the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Comments or questions?
Yeah, I'll just comment on this. This is the, we have a, grant from, New Jersey DOT to resurface, the Fifth Avenue from, Ocean Avenue to, Madison. And because the sewer project replacement isn't ready yet in time, we actually submitted that to DEP to qualify underneath our, loan forgiveness program for the sewers. We're not gonna be able to get that construction of the sewers done in time. And so we're delaying the paving until the spring, so we can get the sewer put in before we pave. We don't wanna pave and then come back and cut it up and put the sewer in, so we're asking them to extend this grant to the springtime, so we don't have to try to pave in the winter months. And this is a DOT, should not be an issue, so they should be accepting to this.
Any other comments, questions? I'll make a motion to approve 2025-310.
Second.
Very good.
Ms. DeNoble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatose?
Yes. 2025-311, authorizing a competitive contracting process for the hiring of a vendor for credit card payment processing. Comments or questions?
So didn't we typically do a competitive process, just an annual?
Matt, shall I turn this over to you?
Sure, we've never taken credit card.
You said this is the first.
Oh, so this is for like
This
construction
is to
fees?
start to move the borough to become cashless, both at the beachfront and also here at Borough Hall.
Right.
Moving us into the 20th century. And I said
Right.
20th for
And not included? Or just credit cards?
One step at a time. guys.
me.
Okay, so the twentieth century.
That's why I said the 20th.
So
That's
is
great.
there a variation with credit card fees or is that a pretty standard amount?
It's a standard amount, I think it's 3.5%. You're right, there's some charge a little more, some.
So when we go through that process, does that get included?
It's included with the vendor.
I was gonna say, isn't the vendor, isn't that why we're shopping for a vendor then?
So whether you use American Express or Visa, Discover, Diners Club. The vendor is what charges us. And
So,
in turn, we charge the customer that.
and if someone wants to submit a check, they don't have to pay a fee, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because I know there's still an issue with the electronic payment for the beachfront and for what is the company that we use for?
What mobile?
No, Community Pass. It still sort of includes a fee associated with submitting a check. And every year I challenge that as a resident.
Well, Community Pass is different than, that's a vendor that we hire.
Mhm.
In this case, it would be, the vendor that's used.
Bless you.
I don't know who Community Passes uses to process their checks. I don't know why they charge an additional fee. My guess is that's just the service that they charge us on.
So Matt, there's no fee to the borough, it's only a pass-through fee when you do a
Fee is
transaction.
passed on
Transaction.
to correct. Much like if you go to a restaurant, use a credit card, typically gonna charge you 3.5%.
Any other comments or questions?
And I'll also tell you, we had a very good summer and there were some weekends when we were bringing $70,000+ literally in singles, fives and quarters from the beachfront to Borough Hall. It got counted at the beachfront, brought to Borough Hall, got counted here, given to the police. The police had to go to the bank, deposit it, got counted there. And it just takes a lot of manpower. This will simplify all that. And it also makes any chief operating officer, any CFO, much happier when there's less cash moving around.
Yeah, I know you just described that as a liability, but that's actually the good news. If $70,000 came back here, up to the bank, it's good news. Okay, that's good.
Okay, any other comments or questions? I'll make a motion that we approve 2025-311, authorizing the competitive contracting process for a credit card vendor.
Second,
Ms. DeNoble?
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatozy?
Yes. Okay, this next item, individual resolution 2025-312. There's an opportunity, but we don't know how real the opportunity is. That there's an entity who believes they can bring us grant funding. The borough would pay nothing to enhance the living shoreline at Southern Lake. However, there's also wording in there that talks about, what is it, what?
Salt water.
Salt marsh.
Yeah.
Salt marsh. And so we didn't have time to get back to that, the person suggesting that they could secure the grant funding for us. To find out whether or not, this came up on Friday and we tried to reach them over the last couple of days. So we don't know if this person will be able to secure grant funding for us. They can secure grant funding, we just don't know if the marsh category fits Sylvan Lake. So what we're asking us to do here is to approve having this vendor, work with us to figure out whether or not they can secure grant funding for the living shoreline at Sylvan Lake.
Weren't we already advised by one of our engineers that we actually don't qualify?
I was advised by Mr. Nowicki and I also reached out to Captain Al Majeski. They both thought we did not.
Well, actually, we did, I went back and double checked, and there was actually a meeting with Suburban, with DEP, and it was the same grant, because I was on that call.
Okay.
And it does not apply. They actually came back, DEP came back and confirmed that because this is blue energy, you need to have a salt marsh. We argued that at one time, Silver Lake was a salt marsh. We showed them and walked through it all, and they said, yeah, but it's no longer connected to the ocean because the pipe does not backflow into the lake from the tide. So it does not qualify, and even the type of vegetation is not a salt marsh vegetation, it's fresh water. And therefore they said no, and confirmed, and Suburban engineers went back and verified that it does not apply. So we can.
So that makes it much
Scratches.
clearer.
Right.
And so I will make a motion that we withdraw individual resolution 2025-312.
Second,
Mr. Noble,
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt,
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi.
Yes. 2025-313, approval of sewer overpayment refund for 117 Park Place Avenue in the amount of $1,553.50. Comments or questions?
Second.
Make a motion that we approve it.
Second,
Mr. Noble.
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt.
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi.
Yes. 2025-314, approval of another sewer overpayment refund for 803 Ocean Avenue, number 7, in the amount of $119.50. I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second,
Mr. Noble,
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt,
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi.
Yes.
So these periodically pop up on the agenda. Why is it that we get these overpayments?
Well, if you read the one for the one before, they had a 2-family home, they turned it into a 1-family home and they never.
They never changed. Okay, so this is
Yeah,
because
they
they
were
were.
making
It's
two hookups.
not a problem with the system of our payments.
Oh, no.
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 Just
But once we have a lot more of them.
And the next one is that they pay ahead for the quarter. You're paying sort of in advance, and if your home sells in the middle of that quarter, you're kind of owed a refund.
But that usually comes back from the buyer.
So, let's take.
Some of them.
We'll give them a refund and collect it from the new buyer, I guess. Too late, we've already approved it.
Yeah.
2025-315, authorizing the award of proposal for professional engineering services with CME Associates for the Recreation Center Improvements Project. Comments, questions?
I don't know, I think we need to have a workshop on this one first. I'm not.
I think Ben's got some really good pictures.
Is this for the $100,000 that we've been awarded for recreation?
No, this is for the existing project. We just have to authorize payment under the grants we have.
Okay, let me get that.
Not the new project, that's which we don't have yet. Any other comments or questions? Okay, I'll make a motion. We approve 2025-315.
Second,
Mr. Noble,
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt,
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi.
Yes. 2025-316, authorizing CME Associates to perform additional general engineering services for an amount not to exceed $20,000. Comments or questions?
I had asked the question, will we get an accounting of how this money is spent?
Oh, yeah.
20,000, we will, right?
Yeah, yes, this is just so that we can continue to have them do work for us, and if we don't authorize it, we have to get specific invoices from them to authorize it. So this is giving them the latitude to move forward, and we'll authorize on the back end. We'll review it on the back end. Any other comments, questions? I make a motion that we approve 2025-316.
Second,
Mr. Noble,
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt,
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki,
Yes.
Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi.
Yes. 2025-317, authorizing award of a contract for professional engineering services with Suburban Consulting Engineers, Inc., SCE, for the borough's sanitary sewer infrastructure replacement program. Councilman Nowicki, I think this does warrant some greater explanation.
Okay, so we've talked about this, in previous meetings, but what this, so we had received a $2 million grant from New Jersey DEP to finish the design and replacement of the rest of the sewer system for the rest of the borough. Currently, we've replaced up to Fourth Avenue. Fifth Avenue is under construction today. We have to finish the whole north end of town. as well as Main Street and the rest of Ocean Avenue. And so we estimated that that was approximately, could fit within a $2 million grant. DEP awarded that grant to us for $2 million to complete the design. So this is authorizing the Suburban, who applied for the grant for us, to about $1.8 million worth of work to finish the remaining portion of design. What we're also doing is that CME had worked on a piece of Fifth Avenue. And if you recall several meetings ago, we had authorized CME to do the Ocean Park design from Ocean Avenue to Madison, about 3 blocks, because of all the emergency repair we were doing out there, and it was failing. We had to keep cleaning it out and whatnot. We're taking those costs that CME did, and we're also applying that to the grants. And we will get reimbursed for those costs from the grant. So we'll max out the $2 million grant to pay for all the design stuff that CME had just recently done for Fifth Avenue, from Ocean to Madison that they're working on, as well as Ocean Park from Ocean Avenue to Madison. So we'll get reimbursed. So that will no longer come out of the sewer fund. We'll get DEP to pay for that design, as well as $1.85 million to complete the design of the entire rest of the system. In addition to that, we qualified and were granted a to the Water Infrastructure Bank for the construction. We can actually secure funding loans for up to $20 million to finish the design of the construction of all of the rest of the sewers. Within that, the financing rate on that is at 0% interest for 75% of the construction cost. Okay, and then it's like 3.5% bigger bond rates for 25% of the construction, minimizing the burden to the residents of Bradley and their sewer costs. In addition to that lower cost, we also have qualified because of our average income. We've up through July 1st of this year, we qualified for this program. So looking back over the last decade, we had qualified for this, but it never was used. We are entitled to $2 million per year of principal loan forgiveness for construction. And the DEP has agreed to give us $2 million of principal forgiveness for our first project, which will be the completion of Fifth Avenue and Ocean Park that CME is currently doing. So when you think about each avenue, it's about $2 million just for sewer work for each avenue. And so we are now getting $2 million to pay for those completions, and we qualify first come, first serve. So we have to keep going for the next 2 fiscal years of $2 million of loan forgiveness, principal forgiveness from the Water Infrastructure Bank. And I want to thank Councilwoman, Greenblatt. She really identified this back when she went to the League of Municipalities last year before I came on site. And then they said, Paul, what do you think about this stuff? And I was like, let's get into it. And so, it's been a real team effort, but we've actually secured some fantastic funding to complete the design and continue the construction of the sewer system. We are also in order to, something that was being done and is still being done and will continue to be done with this is to continue to get money from DOT, the New Jersey Department of Transportation. So as the sewers are replaced, that we use grant money to do the paving, so that we don't use the borrowing, use grant money for the pavement work. Again, minimizing the cost of this entire infrastructure for the sewer replacement. And I'll just comment the other piece of this whole equation, and we have gentlemen here that are working on this. We are doing a study to validate what is our best path forward, whether we continue to own the system and continue to do it ourselves, or do we sell that system? And so from a fiscal responsibility standpoint, with all that this is happening, we really need to be able to look at all this. What is the most economical way forward, so that we can make sure that we are doing the right things for the residents and getting the best buy for the dollar, whether we continue to own the system or privatize it. Considering the funding of these grants that we're able to get, put all that together in a financial model, and that work is currently being done. So we're trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, make sure we're making the right decisions. But in the meantime, we are moving forward with this grant money and continuing to fix the lines that are failing today. So that's my sewer speech.
That was a very powerful sewer speech. Speaking as a person who's been on the council for 5 years and came in just after we started phase one of the sewers. To the best of my knowledge, the borough has never received grant funding to do the actual construction work. We have many times received Department of Transportation funding to do the paving subsequently. But the work that the Councilwoman Greenblatt and Councilman Nowicki have done to secure grant funding, as you just heard from Councilman Nowicki, that should approach $6 million of 100% grant funding, no matches, is astronomical success in my opinion. So anyone who's concerned about, taxpayer taxes going up, from a sewer standpoint, we've got great news that so far sewers, we're getting an awful lot done at no cost to the taxpayers. So thank you both.
Thank you.
That said, I'll make a motion that we approve 2025-317, authorizing the award of a contract for Suburban Consulting.
Second,
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Okay, item 2025-318 is the bill list for October 7th, 2025. Any comments or questions about the bill list?
You answered my questions, thank you. And that's it. I give my question.
No, okay, I will make a motion. We approve 2025-318, the October 7th bill list.
Second,
Mr. Noble?
yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. We have a final individual resolution. This normally would have appeared on the bill list. It missed the bill list deadline. So we've set up a separate independent resolution authorizing the payment of the 2025 annual budget to the Bradley Beach First Aid Department in the amount of $55,000. Comments or questions?
I would like to make a comment. I like that this is separate because, when you think about for yourself, what's the most valuable thing you have? It's your time, and yeah, we're paying for this stuff. We're paying for the Band-Aids and the stretcher if you need one of those or whatever, but the folks at the first aid department, they're giving their time and that is super valuable. So the least we can do is pay for all this stuff, pay for all the Band-Aids.
You're
That's
here.
it.
Very good. There's no other comments or questions. I'll make a motion that we approve 2025-319, authorizing the 2025 annual budget payment to the First Aid Department.
Second.
Mr. Noble?
Yes.
Ms. Greenblatt?
Yes.
Mr. Nowicki?
Yes.
Mr. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Gubatosi?
Yes. Item 13 on the agenda, announcements, there are none. Item 14A, the administrative report, Mr. Doherty.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to update the council on some of the construction projects that are ongoing in town. First one on Fifth Avenue. The sanitary sewer main is completed from Madison Avenue to Hammond Avenue. The contractor is planning on completing the sewer main from Hammond to Main Street by the end of this week. After completion of the sewer main, the contractor is anticipating approximately 2 weeks to complete all their sewer service laterals to individual homes. The sewer should be completed in 3 to 4 weeks, followed by concrete work, sidewalks, and paving. Contractor, CME, our police department, and elementary school have been communicating regarding traffic control near the elementary school. Residents on the 600 block of Fifth Avenue have been able to access their homes via assistance from the police traffic safety unit. So thank you for our PD. Next project we have is the rec center. The contractor has completed all drainage improvements and prepared the playground area for installation of the playground by the separate state contractor. The playground installation is anticipated to begin this week. The contractor has removed all fence fabric and milled both the tennis and basketball courts. Court paving will be completed following playground installation. The project completion is expected to be in November. Next one is the Sylvan Lake flume replacement. The wooden box flume replacement has begun on the beach, and the contractor is removing and stockpiling jetty rocks for future use, some of which weigh several tons. Finally, the concession building on the promenade, the construction project will be advertised for bid at the end of this week, and work is anticipated to begin this winter and will continue into the spring. Any questions from the council on those four projects? No. Lastly, as the mayor and council know, we had a pretty successful bid. Sell the lots at the old church. I want to give an update and also report to the public what our total difference is between what was generated and the expenses over the last few years. So the total revenue generated at the auction was $4,875,000. The total expenses, including the purchase of the property of $1.3 million, the total expenses are $2,103,925.62. So the difference, the profit, as you would say, is $2,771,074.38. That's my report, man.
Good change.
Mr. Doherty, for the record, residents, on a couple of residents have asked if these costs include the debt service, what the interest we paid on monies we borrowed. The answer is no. I have not attempted to figure that out. It's probably under $100,000, but that, just for clarity, in case anyone in the room is wondering the same. So 2.7 million, maybe 2.6 million, it's still a pretty reasonable rate of return on a $2.1 million investment.
Yes, sir. And also, when you look at the expenses that we did include, I mean, we put everything in here from, again, the purchase of the property, the engineering services, Monmouth County clerk filing for $8. So we tried to get any and every expense in here. Could we try to figure out what the interest was on the debt? At some point we can, but overall, I think the staff did a very good job putting together all the expenses.
Did you include the repair of Councilman Weber's gutter?
It's in there.
It is in here, yes, it was repaired at no cost.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Can I just ask a question? So when do the properties close?
Good question.
November 17th. No, I should say no later than November 17th.
Okay.
So at this point, the major subdivision has been finalized, the plat's been filed. I have signed contracts with all four of the winning bidders, together with their additional deposits, which were due a week ago on September 30th. All four have returned that. A couple of them already have attorneys, and we're asking for documents to basically then apply for financing and for title insurance. But the outside date for the closings is November 17th, and every single winning bidder has followed every step of the process as of today. Yep.
Well done.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move to item 14B on the agenda. Mayor and council reports. I'll start with Council President DeNovo.
Yay. Okay, so with the Board of Ed, they had a meeting in September. And they reported that they had an excellent school opening in September, and special recognition goes out to Mr. Tonzola, who managed a number of vendors this summer to have the renovations in the hallway near the nurse's office and PT room, as well as the new floor of the cafeteria. So the school looks wonderful, and our teachers went above and beyond setting up their classrooms during the summer to create a welcoming environment for our students. And they also would like to thank Phil and the custodial staff. And the preschool kindergarten orientations were a great success. Pre-K also launched its dual language program this year, which has been met with a lot of enthusiasm. And they also celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month. And it was a fantastic kickoff celebration hosted by the PTA. The Bradley Beach Tourism had their meeting today, and they're almost done with their summer survey. Lots of kudos going their way. The fall series, the concert series is underway. And people are really enjoying it, and it brings a lot of life to the middle of the town, and people are bringing takeout. And also, the World Cup is next year, and they're looking to do a watch party on June 13th for the first USA match. And they're looking to hopefully have a block party, maybe in the park. They're making plans. They're also hashing out some ideas for that, as well as their Jazz Fest is going to be again this February 2026. The Bradley Beach Shade Tree Commission had a meeting October 1st, and they had 4 applications, one at 205 Lake Terrace. They're gonna remove 1 tree and on their private property, and they're gonna replace it with 3 trees. 211 Park Place will be removing 2 trees, and that is their planting strip, and they'll be replacing it with 3 trees. And 115 Third Avenue is removing 1 dead tree. And also 300 Fourth wants to remove a tree, but it's in the planting strip, but it seems like it's okay. They're gonna have Bill Brash analyze that tree. The grant program that they recently had was for $40,000, and they were hoping to plant in the fall. Unfortunately, a lot of their selections do better when they're planted in the spring. So the state has advised us that we'll do the planting in the spring. We can look forward to 75 new trees coming our way to Bradley Beach. And they're also going to be planting some tulips in the Pollinator Point Garden, which is on Second Avenue. And their account is $16,500. That completes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Nowicki.
Thank you, Mayor. First, the police activity. September 19th, a 34-year-old Wall Township man was arrested and charged with burglary, theft, and criminal intent to commit burglary as a result of an investigation by Detective Christopher Wilson. On September 9th, the male subject entered a parked unlocked motor vehicle and removed a cell phone belonging to the owner. Sergeant William Major and Patrolman Daniel Crow assisted with the investigation. On September 26th, 2025, a 30-year-old male subject was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm. Certain persons not to possess a weapon, resisting arrest, hindering apprehension, and obstructing the administration of law. The subject was stopped for a motor vehicle violation while he was operating an electric scooter by Patrolman Daniel Crow. Once stopped, the subject fled from officers on the electric scooter and on foot. He was apprehended a short time later. After he was placed in custody, officers found that he was in possession of a firearm and live rounds, which he discarded while he was fleeing from the officers. Patrolman Daniel Crow, Patrolman Andrew Redmond, and Patrolman Ian Ambrose handled the arrest. Officers also investigated 8 motor vehicles accidents and responded to several calls for service. On another note, the Bradley Beach Police Department will be participating in the Operation Take Back, which is sponsored by the Drug Enforcement Administration. We will be collecting any unused prescriptions and non-prescription medications on Saturday, October 25th, between the hours of 10 and 2 at the police department. Please remove any personal information from the prescription bottles, and we will not be taking any syringes or any type of needles. On the first aid front, for the operational period ending October 7th, the squad responded to 18 day calls, 7 night calls, for a total of 25 calls. 21 were for medical, 4 for fire calls, 1 motor vehicle accident. The squad provided medical overwatch for the Kaleidoscope of Hope Walk and the Walk to End Alzheimer's. The squad conducted 1 drill for the safety and education of the membership. The squad requested no mutual aid for the operational period. Total calls for the month of September, 54, and events were 2. The squad fulfilled 100% of their assignments for this operational period. We are still looking for volunteers for the first aid squad. We will offer free training for qualified individuals. And anybody looking to volunteer, applications can be found on the borough's website. Fire department. For the month ending September 30th, the fire department responded to 11 day calls, 6 night calls, for a total of 17 calls. 1 was a working fire, 11 were fire alarm activations, 2 were mutual aid assists into Asbury Park, 2 were natural gas leaks, and one smoke condition. The department conducted trainings on ladder operations and vehicle entrapment. The department also participated in a standby for fireworks in Avon. There were no requests for mutual aid from other fire departments. Department fulfilled 100% of our assignments for this operational period. I'm happy to report that the department inducted one new firefighter to our ranks. And they too are also looking for volunteers. So you can get the information off the website. And then one more thing, just want to share is that this week is the Fire Awareness Week, an annual Fire Safety Day is on October 9th, and the elementary school will be hosting their annual fire safety in partnership with the Bradley Beach Fire Department. The event is an important part of our Fire Prevention Week, giving our students a chance to learn about fire safety in a hands-on and engaging way. Activities included gear station, exploring the protective equipment that the firefighters wear, a water can station, learning how fire extinguishers and water cans can be used, and also a fire truck display, touring the fire truck and learning about its equipment. The 8th graders will be also taking part in a special cadet program led by the fire department. So again, we encourage everybody to continue to talk and discuss about fire safety. It's really critical. So, take safety moments with your family and just make sure everybody's aware of fire safety in your homes. My last thing to report is Sylvan Lake, and their monthly meeting will be next Wednesday, 7 o'clock here in this room. All are invited, so please come and attend to get any updates that you'd be interested in on Sylvan Lake.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Greenblatt.
Thanks. The Arts Council met Monday, September 15th. The Jewish holiday of Sukkot, an autumn harvest festival, began last night and runs through October 13th. In celebration, the Arts Council is partnering with our local synagogue, Agudath Achim, and will provide music and entertainment in the sukkah when Arts Council member Gwen Rosenblatt will be performing on flute and piano. Members of the community are invited to attend at 309 Fifth Avenue from noon to 3 on October 13th. Refreshments will be served. Mark your calendars now for the Arts Council's first annual full-day arts festival, Saturday, June 27th, 2026, for a celebration of the arts through hands-on participation and community engagement. The next Arts Council meeting is scheduled for Monday, October 20th, 11 a.m. at the Biazzi Center. The public is welcome. The Rec Board has not met since our last council meeting. Some continuing programs, Mahjong Open Play runs every Friday, 1 to 3 at the Biazzi Center. The Senior Club meets up Wednesday, October 22nd at noon. Senior Game Time Tuesdays is back, the first and third Tuesday of each month. BYOG, bring your own game, and join friends at the Biazzi Center for fun and community fellowship. Family Game Night, October 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. Takes place at the Neptune City Community Center. This is a shared community event and open to Bradley Beach residents. Don't miss out October 24th for a ghoulish gathering at 4 p.m. on the Evergreen Avenue Beach. All ages welcome to this festive Halloween costume contest with music, snacks, and pumpkin chucking. This event was modified because of the recreation construction, so the pumpkin chucking will take place on the beach. See the updated flyer on the rec website. Recreation will be hosting its 4th annual Trunk or Treat on October 26th in the municipal parking lot from 1 to 3 p.m. Signups are currently open. Follow the link on the recreation page of the borough website to participate as a decorated trunk handing out candy. Construction continues at the rec site as it refurbishes its playground and facility courts, as well as drainage repair and repaving. The work will continue through the fall with limited public access to the facility. The Recreation Committee's next meeting will be moved to Monday, October 20th at 6:30 p.m. due to the Columbus Day holiday. Fletcher Lake Commission has also not met since our last council meeting. A Fletcher Lake cleanup will take place Saturday, October 18th from 10 a.m. to noon. Coffee and bagels will be on hand for all those who come to participate. Please join this collaborative multi-community event with Ocean Grove. The next commission meeting will be on October 9th at 6 p.m. in this council chamber. And that's my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Weber,
Me?
please.
All right. This was part of the consent agenda, so I feel like we missed saying this people's names, but congratulations to the probationary firefighter Ashley Navarin. And then also to the special officers, the police officers, the special officers, Brendan Cavendish, Andrew Lewis, Ryan McGee, Anthony Ruggiero. We probably should think about that before we consent agenda them, and then they don't get their names. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Heather Sauer, who's no longer in the room, but they're doing a great job making the school sustainable. Let's see, a couple beach related things. The flume, we know that the Sylvan Lake flume stuff is happening, but we've waited a long time for this, a very long time. It was very nice on Saturday to see the big construction, like they're doing it on Saturday. I was like very happy about that. Also, I noticed the staging area, they're putting all this equipment on the beach, kind of in that spot where there's like dunes on three sides, just a little bit south of Evergreen. But the very first thing they did was fill the gap in the dunes between the, ocean. Because, probably each one of those pieces of equipment is a few $100,000, if not $500,000, and you got a couple of them in there, and what do you want to do? You want to protect it, so you build in the gaps in the dunes. I just see this,
Leave it?
this is like a great idea. I would love to leave it. I think that would be a great idea, but we can talk about that. Maybe they give us a discount if they don't have to undo all that sand piling up that they did. Let's see, the environmental commission did not meet. We had scheduling conflict. We may try and make that happen next week, next Monday. But speaking of environmental stuff, the beach sweeps are on October 10th. You know the drill. Go to the pavilion at Fifth Ave, and from 9 AM to 12 noon, we'll be picking up stuff off the beach. Clean Ocean Action has you catalog it, so you just mark down, and because we are gonna have to skip this stuff soon, we're gonna take note of how many plastic utensils and other things like that we're picking up off our beach. So please participate in that. You have heard me say recently that our ordinance has you put your lid on your trash can and your recycling can. That's our ordinance. So there are two good reasons that you should do that. One is about a week from now, it's gonna get really windy. There's gonna be a massive wind event, so don't put your can out without a lid. But the other reason you should do it is because our code enforcement officer took it upon himself to go out before trash collection at 5 o'clock in the morning and look for people that don't have the lids, and just let them know that this is, we'd like you to have your lid on. It helps us keep the town clean, and that's what we want. So, a couple of other things. Glad you mentioned the drug take back. That's on my list because that's environmental, but it's a police thing, so thank you. And the town always gets sustainable Jersey points for, the fact that we do the drug take back thing. It shouldn't be dumped down the toilet, bad for the water, so bring them to the police station. And something that happened, about almost a month ago at this point. It's kind of under the radar for a good reason. We had the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission. They have a mobile unit, so you don't have to go to the MDC to get your real ID or to get your license renewed or whatever. That came here. And we had 60 people from town, roughly 60 people, get a real ID or whatever services they need from MDC. I will tell you, kind of kept it under the radar because if you advertise, you can either fill all the spots yourself with people in town, or else you have to open it up to the public and anybody can come from anywhere. So we felt really confident we could have 60 people from town, and we did that. I think, Mr. Administrator, we did so great, they're coming back? They're coming back. Okay, so we are going to do this again. And it's just a great service for the town. I had to go and get a real ID, and I went to the mobile unit in Tom's River because I needed it rather quickly. I was getting on a plane, and so how do I bring this thing to town? So we made it happen. That was very instrumental, and it was a good thing. So coming again in November, maybe? We don't have a date. Okay.
17.
All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, I hit all my major points. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. And in case anyone didn't hear, it is November 17th, correct, Matt? That's the next date for that mobile unit. And every other month or so, they're willing to come back as long as we have people interested. So hopefully we'll continue to do this as the new
And you
year.
can also, aside from real ID, you can bring back your license plates, duplicate registrations. anything you would do at a regular motor vehicle commission. You don't need an appointment for that. But what Councilman Weber was pointing out, which is the real value, is getting a real ID.
And there are limited spaces, so it was a part of my report, but since Councilman Weber brought it up. Anyone interested in getting a real ID should call Borough Hall, reserve a time slot. And I think total there's 60 time slots, give or take.
Yep.
So, okay. For my report, first and foremost, near and dear to my heart is the mayor's office. I will be permanently leaving that little room over there. My last day will be Wednesday. Thursday, I'll be sitting up front with everybody else. As that area will be annexed to the court. Because as I think I've mentioned in past meetings, we are taking on Neptune City's court. They will pay Bradley Beach $80,000 to take on their court. And other than maybe $1,000 of expenses, we're gonna knock a hole in the far wall of the mayor's office to connect it into the court, but a hole only, so we're not doing any massive construction. That should take place soon, not over the weekend. We will not pay, we do not need to pay overtime, so it should be a very cost-effective transition. I am a member of the library board, and the library has just a slew of activities every month. I'm not gonna read the whole list, but understand that they have programs for little kids, Lego type programs, board game type programs for teenagers, focused on career building, for adults. One coming up this month in October is for entrepreneurs, adults who want to start businesses. Go to the Bradley Beach Library website. It's actually bradleybeachlibrary.org. And you'll be amazed at the amount of activities occurring every month, but most currently in the month of October. We've got some activity going on with the county director, Tom Arnone, and the county engineer, Joe Ator, is meeting with us and not only myself, but Mayor McGreevy from Neptune City to discuss two things. One is the intersection at 4th Avenue and Memorial Drive, a massive traffic concern, safety concern. As you're probably aware, the county is looking at a 3-year plan that they should be able to take action as a result of their study in 2028 to do some traffic calming on Memorial Drive. We don't want to wait till 2028 because we've had a handful of really bad accidents there. And again, the engineer and director are willing to meet with us. So we're going to meet with them on October 23rd and with our police chief and Neptune City's police chief to go through what we might be able to do to improve traffic safety at that very dangerous intersection. We're also going to set up a time on a different date, but in the near future, to evaluate a watershed study being done by the county, but looking primarily at Neptune's watershed, which runs off into Sylvan Lake. We want to have a seat at that table. Councilman Nowicki and I should be able to, we've been told we will be invited to their next meeting. But it's very important we be a part of that because they're kind of narrowing their focus at the moment to fixing their watershed to make sure it flows properly without much focus yet on what it flows into, which is Bradley Beach. So we will be joining that discussion as we go forward. A couple things, well, one, business administrator mentioned this, but I think it bears repeating. On October 10th, we should be able to release bid requests for the sewer pump station next to the playground, you know, on Ocean. The plan is to convert that into restrooms and a small concession area. And we hope to have bidding, bids prepared beginning October 10th. Hopefully by the end of October, we'll have bids in place and we can award that work. And folks can, hopefully a contractor can get started before the end of the year. The goal, of course, would be to have the bathrooms up and running by Memorial Day of next year. One other thing I want to make sure people put on their calendar is Mayor's Wellness Walk. It's actually October 26th. So we will have one more council meeting. I just give you a little advance warning. October 26th at 9 AM, Brindley Avenue, Mayor's Wellness Walk. Healthy Dog, Healthy You. And our own resident veterinarian, Dr. Kathleen Heaney, will lead that discussion. So that'll be fun. I'll probably mention that again in 2 weeks, but just put it on your calendar, October 26th. That concludes my report, and now we can move to public comments and questions. Any comments or questions? Yes, Nancy.
At the gazebo? Yeah, the gazebo, yeah.
Hi, I'm Bob McAllister, 412 Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
We'll get it. Okay, Bob.
Okay, I just wanted to share some comments with respect to the borough's fair share housing plan. On behalf of myself, my wife, Jeff Curtis is here as well, and his wife supports these views. I'll go as quickly as I can. I know the hour is late. Bradley Beach is a great place to live if you can afford it. Unfortunately, unprecedented increases in property values in Bradley Beach and other shore towns mean that it has never been more difficult for moderate and low-income families whose annual incomes are less than $105,000 to find decent, affordable housing. This income level would include our teachers and police officers who cannot live in our town. The good news is that New Jersey state law requires that each municipality adopt a fair share plan, which details the affirmative measures it will undertake to achieve its fair share of low and moderate income housing. We're pleased that Bradley Beach for the first time has adopted a fair share housing plan. However, we believe that the plan is woefully inadequate to address the critical need for decent, affordable housing for our neighbors. Here's why. The plan agrees with the state's assessment that 64 affordable housing units in Bradley Beach are deficient and in need of rehabilitation due to overcrowding or a lack of adequate plumbing or kitchen facilities. This figure greatly exceeds the numbers of deficient units in comparable towns. The plan proposes to rehabilitate only 6 units per year over the next 10 years to be funded by the borough or through development fees collected in the town's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. We believe that justice requires that Bradley Beach be more aggressive in eliminating unsafe, substandard housing for all of its residents. Landlords should be required to correct deficient rental units, and the timetable for rehabilitations should be accelerated. The plan also acknowledges that Bradley Beach's unfulfilled fair share obligation for the past 37 years was 95 additional affordable units. However, the borough's plan claims that the borough's current potential for development is only 13 affordable units, as there isn't sufficient available vacant land for any more, a small fraction of the 95 units required for the period 1987 to 2024. This number does not give sufficient weight to the over 1/2 acre parcel at 319 Lorraine Avenue that the borough sold on September 18th as 4 residential building lots with no provision for affordable units. If no part of the 319 Lorraine Avenue property was reserved for affordable units, why not contribute 20% of the $2.7 million profit that the town has realized to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund? That is to contribute 20% to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. We also question the plan's claim that 15 existing units of private supportive housing partially satisfy the town's fair share obligation. This housing supports those battling addiction without regard to income, so it is not limited to individuals having moderate to low income. Finally, the borough's plan acknowledges that Bradley Beach will have an unmet need of 30 affordable housing units to be added in the next decade. To address this need, the plan proposes the adoption of an ordinance that would require that 15 to 20% of the units in new multifamily developments be affordable.
Given the lack of meaningful progress in creating affordable housing in the past, we doubt that the unmet need will be satisfied without more proactive involvement on the part of town government. The measures proposed by the borough's plan are clearly inadequate to meet the need for safe, affordable housing in a town where property values are continuing to soar. As longtime residents of Bradley Beach, we believe that diversity is one of the great strengths of our community. When I went to the grammar school, almost all the teachers lived in town. If we value the unique character of our town, we encourage our elected officials to promote redevelopment that will make it possible for all of our neighbors to continue to live here. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Mr. Curtis, you seem to want to follow, Phil.
Jeff
We'll
Curtis,
get to you, Jesse.
202 Third Avenue. To follow up on what you've just heard, the town needs to know that the fair share housing is challenged. The plan is totally inadequate. Anyone who read the original purpose of the plan would have seen that Bradley Beach did not address half of what the questions were in the plan, which is a great disappointment. So here are just a couple of the things that are identified that Bradley Beach has failed at. The borough's plan states that Bradley Beach has an unmet need for 30 additional affordable housing units. That was up before the plan was submitted, and it's still not answered. The borough's plan supplies a vacant land adjustment. And the borough has an obligation to identify potential sites for redevelopment and a method to generate additional affordable housing units that will satisfy at least 25% of the unmet need. The plan's realistic development potential by identifying realistic sites that can be developed for affordable housing was not part of the plan. The plan did not address minimum amounts of family housing or housing for different income levels, of which there are a variety of income levels that are impossible addressing affordable housing. The borough's plan overstates the number of credits that can be applied based upon transitional housing units in the borough and provides no evidence that the units are affordable. Both 601 Ocean Avenue and 440 Newark Avenue, working with people who are dealing with people who are looking for housing, they are not Oxford houses anymore. To our understanding, there are no Oxford houses in Bradley Beach anymore. So one of them is owned by a private person who is using it as an investment strategy. The plan does not address how the borough's past obligation will be addressed, which Bob just talked about. The plan does not provide funding that can be applied to rehabilitation of the units and identify the person that's going to be responsible to implement the plan. We have a copy of fair share plans submitted to the judge. It's pretty extensive, and we're going to continue to work on it. We hope that Bradley Beach will become more open in the process. We obviously tried to sit and listen to what the planner was projecting when it happened. It was a terrible plan from our perspective, and as we use the word inadequate to what the plan was asking to be submitted in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy Meadow.
Thank you for your patience, Ms. Meadow.
Thank you. Why did you throw me off? I'm sorry. You without a pen, that's how I didn't intend to speak. Nancy Meadows, Sport Condominiums. I availed myself probably for the first time ever with a freebie in Bradley Beach, which was the DMV van. It was lovely, and I got my ID, which I really didn't ever want because I have a passport. But I spent the $11 and figured the state needed it. However, I hope when the new van comes that it's handicap accessible. It was quite a challenge to navigate the stairs going up with that. Just a suggestion. Mr. Nolte, I look at you as the recreation design czar. The playground that equipment that currently exists, is that equipment going to be reused there?
I'm not that familiar with, I'm the sewer guy.
Well,
But I understand what you're asking. Matt, do you know what the disposition of the equipment that's there today?
Here's what I'm
What they're
thinking.
doing with it?
The old equipment?
Yes.
It's all thrown out. It's thrown
Oh,
out.
so we didn't move it to somewhere where somebody could use it.
No,
That's the Bradley Beach way. Thank you.
Well, it's probably not to today's standards.
no, it's not
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
close to today's standards.
Right.
No one should use that equipment.
No.
Okay, and I would like to take Ms. DeNoble, Mr. Weber, Mayor Lubitosi down memory lane to a previous administration when the lockers went online and cashless. And as usual, powers that be ignored me or actually finally listened to me when I said, you need to accommodate people who choose to pay for the locker by cash. And at that time, I also inquired if there would be any fees by doing a credit card collection online, and of course I was told no, and then I paid my cash.
Not by any of us,
I said memory lane.
right?
I did not mention a person's name, but you are correct. It was not any of the three of you. And then people who did pay by credit card got a fee added to their bill, which many people were annoyed about. Now, I've not looked lately. But regarding the discussion about going cashless, it is my understanding it is illegal to be cashless in the state of New Jersey. And if it's not illegal, I would say adding to the three names I mentioned and now putting in as the green lab, you all ran on being inclusive. So if you exclude people from doing business with our borough by using cash, you're excluding, you're not including. I understand you don't want to count the money, you don't want this, you don't want that, but there are some of us, whether we're old like me, who don't want to be bothered and don't want their credit cards out there, or are not able to obtain that kind of plastic and choose to pay by cash, you are excluding. So whether it's a legal issue, which Mr. Cannon can certainly figure out, or I won't even say more, I'll just say a hard issue. I'd ask you to consider that. And then I just want to say, if anybody has not looked at the CoStar from last week. Okay, we've got the fold above the fold. Yes, I'm excited that Lenny's is coming to Manasquan. But more importantly, read the article about someone's child, I won't embarrass them here, who's below the fold. It's quite nice. I didn't mention a name. I'm really good about that. But yes, I'm Mr. Darby's daughter, who is, I think she's just very funny. There's a whole article about her and her career as an actress. So that's a nice thing.
That is, thank you.
Thank you. Other comments or questions from the audience here? I know. So now we will go to Zoom.
No, Henry's here.
Oh, Henry,
Yeah.
Mr. Matos. I thought you were pointing at the TV.
Hello. Henry Machos, 209 Third. You know, there was the lawsuit that was settled. And I'm not specifically saying that one or any of them. I'm just very sad about all of the lawsuits over the many years. And the thing is that, as defendants, you always are innocent or someone innocent, don't know. And then the plaintiff, he'll go to a lawyer, or she'll go, regardless, go to the lawyer and pick a lawyer, and they say to the lawyer says, tell me about your case. And then she or he explains it, and will say, yeah, but this could take years. You might have to go for these dispositions and years and years. Then the lawyer looks and he says, oh, it's the Borough of Bradley Beach. I'll take the case. They fold like a weak suit. You know what a weak suit is, don't you? That's what they do every time. So if you're innocent, go the course. Because you're gonna you're building a reputation that will fold like a weak suit. Or maybe they have a big lawyer and our lawyer is in this thing. I don't know what the situation is, but if you're innocent, let it run the course. Because I don't know where we get all the money. Where would you get the money to settle this one? Do we sell another bond? Where do you get it? Just comes right out of the taxpayers' money?
Covered by insurance.
For what?
It's covered by insurance.
What is that?
So the borough has insurance policy.
Oh, okay, so then every time I have an insurance policy and I have a lot of claims, then my insurance premiums go up or they drop.
Well, we can't be dropped, as a municipality, as a member of the JIP, but your point as to claims history is important in insurance premiums.
That was all my point, is that, you know, if you as defendants are innocent, and I believe you are, then we should run the course and build that reputation that we won't be pushed around. Thank you.
Thank you. I see there is another hand, Mr. Cohen.
Sure, Thomas J. Cohen, I do agree with the previous speaker that it would be nice to fight these and send a message that, you know, let's drag it out for 5 years and see what happens. Unfortunately, I realize JIP will just give you the money and say, good luck, we're only giving you this much, and if it goes over that, the taxpayers will pay. So it's an unfortunate situation that people work in. Also, towns that have the council manager form of government, Ocean Township and Howell Township have recently had very similar lawsuits. So if we change the form of government, don't think these lawsuits are going away. So I just want to make that clear. Also, I'd like to address some of the comments. First of all, Mr. Nowicki, I want to just understand this full sewer design for $1.8 million. They're going to design the whole town, so we know when we go to bid what we're looking at. Is that what's
Yes, they're gonna design all the remaining portions that have not been built yet.
Mhm.
So from, Lake Terrace to, Fifth Avenue. As including Ocean and Main Street. So they're gonna do the survey, lay out the design, and then way it's laid out, we're gonna do 3 phases. So picking and choosing based on DPW's recommendation, which are the worst sections that need to get replaced first. So we can turn around and take care of those as we march down.
So we're gonna have a design dossier that we can just pick out pieces and say, we're gonna bid this one, we're gonna bid that.
Yes.
Okay, great. And I do want to thank you, because I don't think residents, especially at the north end, really understand what was pitched by the last administration, where they wanted to do lining. And now, as tonight you hear, the laterals will be done, there'll be a clean out on the curb, and that's gonna be the standard for every resident's gonna get the same thing.
Correct. That's when we, Fifth Avenue was set up to do that, aligning, and, back in January, we said, no, stop, let's replace them. And so that's what we're doing. We're replacing all the sewers that are 100 years old, they need to be replaced.
Sure, and in fairness, it should happen all over town exactly the same way. So we really dodged the bullet.
And if we can get $2 million of principal forgiveness, basically paying for it, that's the right way to do it.
I would like to address some of the questions by a couple of the previous speakers. I wish these guys were here. Gary Engelstad was the mayor, Larry Fox was the mayor. And I stood up here alone at about 301 Main Street and said, hey, where's the affordable units? Everybody told me, oh, we're fine. And then the project at Autotech, I came to all the meetings, the extensions, oh, we don't have to supply it. I don't know where those guys were then. I have the emails from Fair Share Housing. Now Fair Share Housing's involved. You know why? Because there's a pool of money now. As per Mr. Doherty's report, there's a pool of money, people show up. Whether it be your private life, whether it be business life, whether it be municipal life. So here we go, the state agency's now gonna say, hey, Mayor, I've said all from the beginning, and I've told one of the speakers, I'll be the first one to say, some of that money should go to affordable housing. Due to the mismanagement of the program by Mayor Engelstad and Mayor Fox, by not collecting the fees that your administration now collects. So I don't know if it's 20%, I don't know if it's 10 or it's 15, it's really up to the council. But I do support that portion of what they said. I do disagree with a couple of the things when it comes to supportive housing. There is no financial ramification. It's the condition of the people that's there that qualifies them. Okay, they're underprivileged based upon their condition. There's nothing to do with money, nothing at all. And that's been stated at meetings, which they keep repeating and repeating. So, so then the, other, also, we're gonna be doing our plan. The land use board will be meeting and going over it. We'll have recommendations for the council for their, March 30th current deadline with the state to have the revised plan. We will supply the reasonable opportunity to meet some of these numbers that they've called out. Now, in terms of this 64 rehab units and justice requires, listen, the information about those 64 units, we have units without kitchens, we have units. No. That information comes from the 2020 census. It's not confirmed. So I'd love to know where these units are in Bradley Beach with no bathrooms and no kitchens, okay? I mean, I'm not gonna believe a census document that someone filled out that says, oh, we have no kitchen in our house. So I think that really needs to be clarified, and I would challenge fair share housing on that issue. But we will supply the reasonable opportunity to create the housing in a fair system for the people of Bradley Beach. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments in this round? Seeing none, we'll go to Zoom. Ms. Spillman, I see your hand is raised.
Yes, thank you. It's been up for a very long time. I want to follow up on the questions and concerns I raised about the bond ordinance 2025-29 for the pump house, the 54 Ocean Avenue. Because at the last meeting, when I asked about the problem of identifying this property as having bathrooms, and that there was an approved plan that was going to be implemented. Well, the approved plan has apparently not been approved. There is no such thing. The clerk, when asked about when that plan was going to be available on the website, was sent a link to the original May 6th, 2025 council meeting that is on YouTube. And that was the first introduction to that plan for the 54 Ocean Avenue. And that was identified at the time as a great starting point, and that there would be a follow-on sessions to complete the designs, to look at more complete designs. So that was a preliminary. There apparently has not been a follow-up with approved plans later on. So we still are needing complete designs under that grant. At that meeting also, the concerns that were raised was, did we need to have permits and did we have to have CAFRA? And it was said at that meeting, well, we have to investigate CAFRA. Do we know that we do not have a CAFRA? We do not need a CAFRA permit?
We are being told by CME Engineering that we do not need CAFRA permitting.
Why?
Because we're not expanding.
Why?
Because we're not expanding the footprint of the building.
Yes, for above ground, that may very well be true. And they've got a lovely design above ground. There is nothing in that about the sewer design on how to dispose of the raw sewage that comes from bathrooms. And I'm going to preface this by saying I think that the function of having a bathroom there is a great one. I think the design it looks very, very good. What I am concerned about is what's under the ground, not above it. The building in that footprint is fine, but we do not know, we do not have a design for what the sewage disposal is going to look like underneath that. And I'm very concerned about calling those bathrooms because they were not bathrooms. And even at that initial meeting, it was said that there were scattered parts of toilets in there, and that was what has apparently been used as evidence that there was a bathroom. I know for a fact there was not a bathroom for the last 25 years. And I am pretty darn sure not for the last 45 years. So I like to know where this sewer disposal is going to happen. And it sounds like we have an opportunity under this new sewer grant proposal to actually design the real sewage problem that exists there. Because otherwise we're going to risk polluting the beach there if we don't know where that sewage is going to go. And we're going to end up like one of the other beach towns this last summer that had such a sewage problem they had to close down their beaches. We don't want to get there. None of us want to get there, but we have to ask these questions. And if you believe you don't have to have a CAFRA permit because you've already got bathrooms there, that can appear on the face of it to be a fraudulent statement. So until we know that bathrooms were there, and until we know how raw sewage will be disposed of through the sewage system, I think we need to halt the actual above ground work, which is lovely and can be implemented at any time. But we need to know that we are not going to be in jeopardy because we don't have a CAFRA permit, and in jeopardy because we may have a problem with the raw sewage there. So we don't know ever, and it does not appear that there were bathrooms there, and there's no evidence that there ever was.
I'm sorry, Ms. Spillman, we got that point, but the time is run out.
You're out of time.
Thank you for your
Ms.
comments.
Spillman, it's Councilman Weber. I just want to ask you a question. You have a house on Ocean Ave, right?
Yes.
And where does your sewage go? I'll answer my own question and say it goes to a sewer main that's on Ocean Avenue. So simply, you have a pipe that connects the sewage from your house to the sewer main on Ocean Avenue. The exact same thing is gonna happen here. They'll connect to the sewer main that runs down Ocean Avenue. I'm not sure anybody needs to see a schematic diagram to, to show that, but maybe if that's.
Well,
what you-
I disagree with that because I don't see that connection from that pump house to that sewer exists.
What?
So I'm just
I just
asking.
We will confirm.
I'm just letting you know. That it used to be a bathroom. I walked in there, there's showers, there are bathrooms. They weren't used for maybe for 25 years. That's why we're rehabilitating a building that hasn't been used for its original purpose for 25, 40, 50. We don't know how many years, but we're getting it done. It definitely used to be a bathroom. I was in there. There's bathrooms.
And the trailer that sits 20 feet away also has a connection to the sewer line.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. No,
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't.
waiting.
That sewage gets pumped away. A truck comes and pumps it out.
That's not.
Okay.
Mrs. Spillman, no, thank you. We will confirm your concerns to make sure that they're not valid with our engineers. If for any reason we find out that you're correct, we will certainly look into it further.
Thank you.
Will this project fall under the sewer design?
No,
because it's
The sewer's
just-
already there.
It's just connecting a building to the sewer. It's not a new sewer line.
Okay.
So it'll
We
fall
are-
under that same sewer funding, right?
Going to move on, Mrs. Spillman, but thank you. Mr. Greenberg has his hand up. Don Greenberg.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, guys, let's see, the host is not allowing people to unmute. Can you hear me now?
We
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, cool. Don Greenberg, 302 Park Place Ave. Got a question for you on the planting strip. So I understand that if you have one of those little walkways and you also have a driveway, if you sell your house to get the continuing CO, that has to go away. What about if you're doing a renovation and you have one, do you need to get rid of it before you get your CO after the renovation?
It's a CCO is my understanding. So with continued certificate of continued occupancy. So technicality, Mr. Greenberg, but as far as code enforcement has explained to us, if you need a CCO, you would need to remove the cement.
So is a CCO something you get after a renovation, or is that something different?
It's different.
It's different.
He's
right?
talking about a UCCCO, which means that all the construction inspections have been completed, right?
Yeah, yeah, so after the renovation
This has a
done,
different
are they
name.
gonna say, no, you gotta remove that little strip there to get your final CO?
No, but if you require a zoning permit for the construction that you're performing, you might run into the same issue as the CCO.
Okay,
So
Alright,
if you have to pull a construction permit to do something, like inside your house, inspection, and this isn't gonna apply. Because the UCC is governed by the state, and this is a town ordinance, so we don't have the authority really to hold up, unless it's part of a zoning approval, which would be a prior approval. We don't have the authority to hold up construction permits for this issue. Unless you invoke zoning or the CCO, which also invokes their jurisdiction, so that's how they've structured it to fix it over time.
alright, thanks, Greg. Appreciate that. And the other thing is, I also agree that it would be great if we can donate some of the profits from the Lorraine Avenue sale to the low income housing fund. I think that would be a wonderful thing to do. I think it would be the prudent thing to do. So that's all I got, guys.
Thank you, Don. And for the record, that is an idea that's been floated long before it was floated this evening. The council's at least discussed that informally over the past year at least, so I'm sure we will consider it further. Any other hands raised, any other questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, we will close public comment and I will make their. Oh, I thought you were picking.
Sorry.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
That's good. All in favor? Aye. This is